and welcome to tonight's episode of 20 Sides of Failure. My name is Eggs Benny, the keeper of lore, but also the loser of souls. And here joining me today are my lovely players as always, and starting in the bottom right corner, Saya.
Hello, my name is Mythical, and I'm the voice of Saya Sombra. And I am the shadow sorcerer who's just trying to get a spell who can maybe get her spy contact back so life can be a little easier for her and everyone else. Stick with us.
And next, the one person who might not feature too much this episode, Austra.
Hey everybody, I'm English Ray. I play the Isomar cleric Austra Rose. Pretty sure I'm going to be nursing a hangover this entire episode.
If you're lucky.
Oh no.
And next, we have up Valdez.
Hello everybody, it is your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I play Valdis, the Vampire Warlock, who's about to get the best dick of his life, hopefully.
Next up, we have Aurora.
Hello. I am your local ASMR paladin, Aurora Rose, twin to Austra Rose. And tonight's going to be fun for her.
Potentially. And finally, last but not least, TS.
Hello, I am Dusky Bee. I'm playing T.S. Starbane, who is just thankful to be alive right now.
That is the way of the world. Now, picking up where we left off last session. After fighting a coven of hags in the windmill, all the party limped back to Vallaki, very much beaten, bloody, and bruised. Taking a little moments of rest and relaxation, conversations had, healing done, a couple of hours were spent exploring or potentially just recuperating in rooms. Going about the town, the preparations for the next festival, the Festival of the Blazing Sun, is taking preparations in the town square. Aurora began to help some of the ladies create a 15-foot wide wicker woven base for a massive sun that's going to become an effigy in the middle of this parade. Wanting to explore a little further, Aurora also sees a toy shop called Blinsky Toys. And it's there, to her horror, that she finds a doll replica of Irina. Almost perfect. And another part of the town, Saya goes wandering, looking for a magic shop and potential quandary needing answered. With the help of her guide, wow, that's two words going together. With the help of her guide, Gregor, she is led to the church, where Father Lucian talks to her there. While he doesn't have the powers to grant her wish, he does know of an abbey further off to the west, and the abbot apparently has the powers that she's looking for. Sensing a little bit of wariness in the father, Saya brings him back to the tavern, where he spills to the party that the bones of a saint, Saint Andral, have been stolen from the church's crypt. Now, those bones were of an actual saint and bestowed the church with holy protection, and now that they're gone, anything could happen to the people that take shelter inside every night. Father Lucian practically begs the party, asking them to find the bones of Saint Handral in a quiet and respectful way, so as not to cause panic in the town. He does give them a couple of hints, saying that the potential people to talk to is what's the word? I'm going to say gravekeeper, because I can't think of any other word. Milivaj. Milivaj is the prime suspect in Father Lucian's eyes. But he sees that you're all still rather battered and bruised and doesn't expect you to charge up to the church and do some kind of interrogation in that moment. But he does ask you to make it a bit of a priority. Coming together, the party share in a round of drinks. Some stronger than others. Strong to the point that Austra becomes comatose with alcohol poisoning. And that is where we pick up. With Austra asleep, Valdis preparing for his date, and T.S. and Azazel are outside going for a walk, so we'll come back to T.S. and Azazel later. Saya went back to their room after the drinks, but feel free to pipe up if there is anything that Saya wishes to do during the evening, considering by the end of the drinks, it was only about 5:30 p.m.
Okay. As of right now, nothing is planned, but I'll let you know.
Fair enough. Aurora. After taking your sister to bed and making sure that she's in some kind of slumber and no longer clutching a greatsword, what do you do?
She is going to actually be somewhat boring. She'll grab her sketchbook before leaving the room and head back downstairs. Basically order a couple glasses of wine, but one of those things of like, hold the second glass because I'm waiting for someone to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And take like a very visible spot, like when you walk into the when you walk in, you'll see her, and basically sip her wine and kind of start sketching the area around her.
That's fair.
Waiting for Zazel.
Mm-hmm. You essentially take that front central space. You can see everything and everyone that's around you at the moment. While the tavern definitely isn't at capacity, more and more people come in as the hours go by. Seems that in the evening, this is another spot where travellers, but also potentially residents of the town, come for some kind of connection. Seems to be one of the few points of warmth in this world. And the commoners gather like moths to flame. Let me roll something. Fair enough. Because that is a perfect 100. I believe that means that Rictavio is with you. So you see him earning his keep and earning his coin by telling people stories, trying to remember which stories he's told to who. He does leave at some point with a plate with what seems to be dinner and an apple. But he does give you a nod. Aurora doesn't seem to be anything that you feel you need to be worried about. It's just something you observe.
Okay. Yeah. While he's telling stories, if he's saying any of them loud enough for her to hear, she'll be listening in while she, like, sips her wine and does her art.
Easy enough. He is probably the biggest personality in the room right now. And you hear boisterous tales of a woman so strong she could lift a cart above her head, men so flexible that they could fold and fit in a box the size of like a letter box, and like he's going into all these tales of the people that he's apparently worked with over the years as part of his carnival and circus. And the stories do amaze. There are people that have very obviously heard these stories before. Danica behind the bar is like kind of laughing and tutting and being like, ah, yeah, here we go again. But people seem to be enjoying the distraction.
She'll probably start letting her sketch work be more influenced by his stories of like circus life and everything. Start kind of like sketching out like a big top and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I'd say it would be potentially you who notices him first. You never saw him come in. But as you take a glance around the bar, taking in everyone that's here, a new face has entered the tavern. One that you recognise. It's the same gentleman that you met as part of the Vistani encampment outside of town. The one that promised Aspen a dinner.
Aspen? I didn't know he was in this campaign.
You know who I meant. Valdez.
Let's go, Aspen!
Aspen here to get dick too, you know? It's fine.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, you did get his heart broken.
I was gonna say Aspen got over his girlfriend real fast.
What's that thing? Best way to get over someone is to get under someone?
Something like that.
I think so.
He's not necessarily trying to hide, considering you can't really hide in a very open tap room. But he's definitely chosen somewhere where it's like, he's a little bit out of the way, a little bit more inconspicuous. He's obviously trying to not draw a lot of attention to himself. But he does go up to the bar and order a drink.
Well, I will make a note of where he takes a seat and then kind of shift to keep an eye on the staircase as well for Valdez. That way she can just kind of go, he's over there.
Very much so. Can you please roll me an insight check?
Gladly.
As I quickly flip through to see if I can find the fucking character sheet. There we go. Okay, so as he's walking away from the bar, you look at Danica's face, and although she is pleasant to his face, as soon as he turns around, you catch that brief little flicker of mistrust, animosity. Like, she doesn't like him and doesn't like the fact that he's here.
Okay. Insert something to keep in mind for later.
And you catch it. And to you, you've seen that face before. It's the face of... Unfortunately, sometimes some Sunites have received this look from people that don't necessarily understand the religion. It's a thing of like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, we don't want you here.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
She does quickly cover it up, though. She goes back to being mistress, hostess, and tries to almost pretend it's not happening, but you do see every now and again her eyes flitting back over to him. She's keeping a close eye on him now.
Fair. Yeah, she'll kind of let her gaze wander between, like, the stairwell, Danica, Gypsy, then, like, back again. Just kind of in, like, a little pattern before looking back down to her book.
I'd say, after a bit, Valdis, of sitting in your room sipping wine, you remember that your date was going to meet you in the tap room when night fell. And night is definitely falling.
Oh yeah. He would have been like, once he got up to the room, he would have been like putting on his makeup and kind of getting a little bit dolled up, a little bit extra fancy. Maybe a little hint of rouge on the cheeks, a little bit of like very subtle lipstick, all that jazz, fluffing up the hair, putting on his probably the outfit that he wore for Greengrass, the really flowy red one, because it gives him a chance to hide shit, so like daggers and stuff in his pockets, keep his weapons on him type of shit, but still be fashionable. And he would kind of look out and see that it was dark, and he would start heading down the stairs.
And your date is in plain view as you come down the stairs. He definitely appears to have made an effort. His hair, while it was like casually tousled earlier, it seems to now have been like waxed and styled, a set like an off-center parting put into place and a quiff in the front. It's still long and flowing, but he has at least taken away what would be like the bits that framed his ears and face and brought them back into like a tight pony at the back. And he's still wearing very similar clothing in the sense of riding trousers, riding boots, but you can see that any scuffs that were on them he's cleaned, any leather has been polished, and he's changed his tunic and doublet so that now it gives off that, like, the best way I can describe it is every romance novel book cover you can ever think of, where it's like very open-chested, very low V. The tunic itself is a dark, like almost emerald green with golden accents, so it almost looks kind of like a military jacket.
Interesting. All right.
But he has definitely styled his mustache so it now comes to like a pinched point that curls around. He's made an effort and has definitely dressed in finer clothing.
Val will kind of like nod his head in approval a little bit and walk down the stairs and like definitely walk up to him. Is he like facing like the floor? Like where is his back turned at all, or is he like facing Val?
Oh no, like he has sat in a way so that no matter where you came from, he would see you enter the room.
Okay. Then Val would just immediately go up to him and kind of like take a seat across the table and kind of like put his elbow on the table and put his chin in his hand and just be like, "Good evening."
As he sees you coming, there's almost like you lock eyes and there's that electricity like palpable from across the room. And as you sit, his smile just goes from like a coy little smirk to wider and wider as you do your presentation. He gives you a little bit of a look down, back up to your eyes, and keeping the smile, just goes, all the better.
He kind of like, a little bit cheekily, like, how do I describe this? He kind of like smiles in a little bit of a way that like looks mischievous, and he kind of like tilts his head to the side and just like, well, I'm not sure what you had planned for the evening, but I am all ears to whatever your heart desires. It just gives him a little bit of a wink at the end.
He catches it. You're not necessarily being subtle. But he actually produces from underneath the table a hamper. He goes, while I trust that the chef here has some skill, there are some things that a Barovian man cannot give you. And he just like kind of gestures to the hamper to be like, we're having dinner on me tonight.
He kind of like leans back a little bit in the chair and smiles a little bit more like open. Just, well, if you say so. But do not hesitate to ask if you're feeling a little bit more halvesies tonight. I don't mind.
That same like coy flirtatious smile hasn't left his face, as again he does like another like quick up down. I think I can think of something.
Belle will definitely kind of smirk at that and kind of like like put his hand a little bit like over his mouth as like a facsimile of being flustered, and kind of just like, oh my, under his breath, and kind of just like stare at him through his eyelashes. Like I said, I am at your mercy for tonight.
Well then, shall we? And with that, he stands, his arm quite deftly hooking through the hamper handle and rising it so it's in now the crook of his elbow. And with his other hand, he gestures for you to stand and take his hand.
Definitely will do. And he'll very, like, deliberately kind of trail his finger tip, like, down the length of his arm before taking his hand.
Oh, yeah.
He'll kind of just, like, give it a little bit of a squeeze and just, well, where to?
You have two options. There is a glade not far from the city limits that I know we will be quite safe. There is also the potential for a lakeside rendezvous.
He kind of thinks a little bit and the past couple hours kind of pops into his head, and he kind of like mentally shudders a little bit at the lakeside venue, and just like puts a little bit of a coy smile on. Well, I think I'd prefer the first, if that's all right with you.
More than. It'll be a little bit of a walk, but I'm sure I can't bore you too much.
He'll kind of like smile and like, same to you. I've been told I'm quite entertaining.
Well then, I will hold you to that.
He'll give him kind of like a cheeky smile, and like, I'm guessing like as they're walking, they'll be like chatting shit like, I can't believe I didn't ask your name before.
Ah, spur or heat of the moment. I cannot say I blame you.
When I see a dashing man, you know, I can't help myself sometimes.
He does let out a chuckle that is just as smooth as melted chocolate. And with a smile, he looks down to you, Valdis. And to be fair, he's not overly tall, but he definitely has like a jockey's build in the sense of like toned legs and arms from riding horses constantly. So
Yeah.
looking down, he just smiles and goes, "My name is Arigal."
How would you spell that?
Arigal. Arigal.
That is a very wonderful name. Very light on the tongue, if you will. And he'll kind of like wink. I'm Valdis, but you can call me Val if you'd like.
It's good. Something easy to say. Like this entire time, he's had like a mischievous, like fox-like grin. But whenever he says something that's like not even a thinly veiled innuendo, like that smile just grows wider.
Val is totally like drinking all of this in. This is his element. He's having a blast. Like, he's definitely like, as much as he tries to like hide it and be cool and suave, he's definitely like radiating excitement. Like, this is the first time in a really long time where he's genuinely like happy. And he's very much enjoying himself. So he'll definitely like return the coy little smiles and like very, very openly anybody who walks by will be just like turn heads innuendos. Like, he's not afraid to be very open about himself. He would definitely ask like the like, you know, regular leading questions of like, you know, I know that, you know, Vistani are usually what's the word that I'm looking for? Nomadic, and they go everywhere. do you have a particular like job that you've been entrusted to? Like, what do you do in your spare time? Like, shit like that.
And to be fair, he does answer your questions. He tells you that technically him and his brother are like co-leaders of their little clan. It was left to them by their father, and until one of them steps down, he doesn't say it like that, but that's what he implies. It's like until one of them steps down, like they will both be co-leaders. But they seem to quite like the arrangement.
Val will definitely take the chance to kind of like poke at that. Like, I didn't know I was among nobility. Kind of like,
There's no nobility, just old blood.
well, let me rephrase that then. I didn't know I was in the presence of somebody so important. I'm very glad that I dressed a little bit my best today then.
You can see him like kind of shake his head, but like again that same like mischievous little coy smile as he takes in the jokes and the jibes and the jabs. Well, we earn our living mostly through trade. It's us going back and forth, going to different countries, bringing them what they need, taking from them what others need. We're very good at transporting. Always has been one of our ways of life. So I guess you would say my job is it's maintaining our way of transport. I am and you can see him kind of drop the like the bravado a little bit as he gets a little bit embarrassed as he just goes, I am the horse boy.
And like Val has definitely been paying attention this whole time, very like nodding along with him, like adding little like tidbits of like, oh really, and like and like very engaging conversation. And as he's just very much like bashfully like I'm a horse boy, you can see his smile like genuinely crack a bit. Just seeing him so flustered. And he kind of like gives his hand a bit of like a reassuring squeeze and just like, nothing to be embarrassed about. Not at all. You take care of the animals, make sure that your people have and he kind of like gives him a bit of a reassuring smile. Listen, it's better than going around and sneaking everywhere and killing monsters and all that. I mean, it's fun, but it's not getting to bond with animals fun, you know? Kind of gives him a bit of a like relaxed smile at the end. Just he's trying to make him feel better.
There's definitely an eyebrow quirk of interest when you talk about you being a monster slayer. But he doesn't push it. It's one of those where it's like, if you're going to talk about it, we'll let it come up naturally. And I was like, well, it has its perks. The horses are usually more understanding than my brother.
You definitely kind of like quirk an eyebrow at that and like wait for him to kind of explain, because he doesn't want to push the subject if it's like not a great topic. So he'll kind of just like nod and wait for him to continue.
He does, but it's not in the way that you're expecting. I was like, Horses are simple. They need food, they need brushing, they like their hair to look good. It's very easy to understand them. My brother, sometimes I do not understand his brain. But that's the whole point of working with someone else. You're not meant to know them. Not in a complete way. Horses, however, you can know a horse completely.
I guess I'd never really thought of it that way. Humanoids and sentient creatures are all very interesting, very different. Everybody has their own problems and their own way of viewing things. They're all very interesting and sometimes very cumbersome to deal with. But interesting nonetheless. Kind of looks over at him and gives him a bit of a smile. Now, every horse might have different tastes in their favorite food or how they like to be brushed, but humans and human-esque creatures, I should say, there's so many facets to everybody, and it's very interesting getting to poke and prod and see the little intricacies, is it not?
He gives a smile at that. As he nods, he understands where you're coming from. Ah. But we have talked enough about my brother. He's not here.
I'll kind of give, like, a little bit of a chuckle and, like, no, you're quite right. I'm more interested in the man in front of me. Kind of just, like, pokes him in the chest. Tell me a bit more about you.
Ah, well. And he doesn't go into pinpoint detail, but he does open up a little bit more about himself, about how he's always lived a life on the road. He knows nothing else. And he was always brought up with the idea of family was everything. Like, his Vistani are everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that. Whenever he talks about his family, like, yes, there may be a comment here and there, but he is staunchly loyal to them. Whenever talking about his way of life, it is the greatest thing in the world, because he's doing it for the Vistani.
I'd say hearing him kind of, like, talking, and, like, sharing about how much this life and how much his family really means to him, I think Val would definitely get, like, I guess, like, secondhand enjoyment. Where, like, seeing him being so happy with, like, what he has is genuinely, like, so new to him. He's just like, holy shit, you have people who care about you? Like, goddamn. Like, he's definitely got, like, a little bit of a softer smile on his face, like, nodding and taking note of, like, people's names and, like, X, Y, and Z, and he's just, like, active listening.
But the talk will take you outside the city limits. He takes you out through the gate that you've come in multiple times and begins leading you back down the trail that you originally went to go to the Vistani camp. But he leads you off a little bit more southward until you find this beautiful, like, clearing glade. Completely framed by the pine trees of the Slavic wood, you have wildflowers teeming with colour. And as you're taking in the beauty, you hear like a little clearing of the throat as Aragal has taken what you're assuming was just a bit of cloth, but it is actually just a full-on like rolled up rug.
Mm.
And has like flapped it out so you have like something to sit on.
Aw.
And he just starts like taking bits of food and bits of drink, like putting them out on like, he's even brought not necessarily like plates and kitchenware, but it's at least like wooden platters, if you think like a cheese board.
Yeah.
So he's at least bought platters that you can cut things on and serve, and there is like a dish for you to put food into.
As he's like taking the stuff out, Val would absolutely like stop to like reach down and help him put stuff out. And if he tries to be like, no, I got it, Val will kind of just like give him a look like, I'm not taking no for an answer. And like set out everything.
Completely
It's
fair.
like the quicker we get this out, the quicker we can eat. So hush.
And you can tell that he wasn't lying. While all the food that Owen has cooked you has been delicious, it's been very common food, stews, soups, things that can be made with like little money and little ingredients. Whereas what Aragal is producing is like, oh no, there's like delicacies here. Like, there's an entire, like, baked pie.
Ooh.
More savoury
How-
than sweet, but in the sense of, like, how did you do pastry?
Yeah, because isn't butter like really hard to come by?
And then in a very elaborate silver case, he pulls back the lid and it's, like, powdered sugar sweets.
Whoa.
Like, he's essentially presenting you with the box of Turkish Delight from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, that is fucking awesome. Okay. Kind of seeing all of this, Val genuinely gets a little bit of, like, a blush on his face as he, like... You can see he's very visibly, like, touched, if you will. Like, he was not expecting this. Not even, like, a little bit. He feels a little bit pampered. So he kind of just like, his eyes are a little bit wide and he has like, like, not quite stars in his eyes, but there's definitely like excitement and feelings there. And he kind of just like tries to clear his throat a bit and just, this is wonderful. I wasn't expecting this warm of a welcome. Thank you. You didn't have to do all of this for me.
Well, my brother was talking to your friend, and she apparently made an impression on him. At the very least, how much you may have all been missing a few home comforts. So, I did the best that I could do.
He, like, very genuinely, like, shyly tucks his hair behind his ear and kind of, like, puts his hand out, kind of, like, asking for his hand.
And he takes it.
He'll kind of give a bit of a gentle kiss, like, on the back of his hand, and just, like, look up at him. Just, well, thank you. I genuinely appreciate this a lot.
While there's still that mischievous tone to his smile, there it is a little softer, it is a little bit more genuine, heartfelt. He gives the fingers that are holding his hand like a reassuring squeeze. He just goes, no. We should eat this before it gets cold. And that's just another thing that blows your mind, like, this pie is fucking fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least
Val
fresh enough for it to
definitely,
maybe be still warm.
Oh my god, yeah. He'll kind of like chuckle, and just be like, well, I won't take no for an answer. Come dine with me. Let's go. And just kind of like, start serving things out, cutting things, talking shit, just being like, how did you get pie? Hello? Like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. How did you make this? And all that jazz.
There's a chuckle and like a little bit of like, oh, a man never reveals all his secrets, and like a little bit of like a touching on the side of the nose, like, wah. But he smiles and begins to like cut portions of the pie, and like there's other stuff too. Like there's even like a side salad that he starts like serving up to you. Like he's done like almost like a full like dinner.
Oh, wow. I am fucking spoiled. Holy shit. All right. He feels a little bit bad. Like, in the back of his head, he's just like, I've severely underestimated this, and I feel a little bad that I didn't bring anything. But he definitely, just kind of, like, chats shit with him, eats, compliments the meal, obviously, and, like, probably, like, as they're, like, eating and stuff, he'll do the typical, like, slightly flirtatious, like, little touches of his shoulder, or, like, bump his head, like, into his shoulder, and, like, try to make him laugh.
Oh. I think we'll leave that there for a second and come back.
Yeah, totally.
Going back to the tavern. Aurora. It does take a little bit of time. She doesn't immediately run over. But Danica, noticing that the first glass of wine has become empty because you've sipped away at it, she comes over, pours you a refill, and, as nonchalantly as possible, just shrugs and goes, oh, do you know where they're going?
I'm not sure. Just that he's been looking forward to tonight since this morning. Does it matter? You forgive me, but I noticed you seemed a little tense around him earlier.
It could be nothing. But there's always that worry.
What worry?
How much do you know about the Vistani, dear?
Not much. Just that they can travel in and out at will, and that they are nomads, essentially.
she looks around over her shoulder. Kind of seeing who's looking her way, who might be listening in. And when she senses the opportunity of, okay, people aren't listening, she sits down in the chair next to you and says in like a hushed whisper tone, "Not all of them, but many are on the side of the king."
King. Do you mean up at the castle?
That I do. And your friend is just left alone. As I said, it could be nothing. But there's always the worry.
I know Valdis is very capable, but I'll make sure to keep an eye out for him. There's, in my experience, there's usually only so long that a date will take, if not an evening. If he's not back come morning, I'll ensure that we are out looking for him.
And she nods and seems to take what you say. But you do hear her mutter under her breath as like a, just in case. And she begins to like wander back to the bar, but instead of sitting at the bar, goes into one of the back rooms.
Okay. Aurora flip to like the back of her sketchbook, like use that finger to, like use a finger to mark where she's currently at, and like flip to the back of her sketchbook and start kind of making notes about some of the things that's like happened that she has yet to bring up to the group. Because she hasn't told the group about the deals she'd had with the Vistani. She also hasn't told them about the Irina doll.
Well, there's a couple of things that Aurora's keeping to her chest at the moment.
Yeah, so she's gonna start making note of all these things of like, yeah, this stuff needs to kind of be addressed.
That's fine. Jumping to the outside of the tavern. Azazel and TS. You'd left the tavern just to go for a bit of a walkabout at the end of last session. Is there anywhere that you're particularly going? Anything that you want to do? Or is it just more a walkabout town?
Bro, I got something really fucking scary to show you.
Should I be concerned?
Absolutely, but I checked it already, so we're good.
Okay.
All right, this fucking doll, bro. I'm gonna take him to the toy store.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just gonna take him to the toy store, walk in. I'm just gonna be like, see?
And TS, it's hard to argue that the doll that has a label on it saying not for sale looks a lot like Irina.
How?
Before you ask, Irene is in her room.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing I checked, because I was going to steal it. I mean, borrow this thing. But she's there. Looked like her soul was in there, because I about scared the soul out of her, but we're good.
Why was this made?
There's a lot of creepy men out there.
Yes, well not.
Alright, we should go back. Everyone's probably gonna be freaking out. I took a child. Not that you're not, self-sufficient, but apparently I'm a horrible person. So let's go!
Guess we'll follow.
I'm a great robot. I don't know what they're talking about. We'll just go back.
I wouldn't agree with that. You show kids terrifying things.
No, I'm actually a really good role model. You're just looking at it in the wrong perspective.
I think you're delusional.
I think you aren't looking at it in the way it's supposed to look at, and when you figure out the perspective I'm talking about, come to me and you'll see where I'm coming from. Until then, I'll let you keep thinking about it. That was said very straight and like almost like there is a point to what he's saying. He's just not just being like, oh, I'm the best thing. There is a perspective that you're not seeing, or at least that he believes.
So you're just gonna keep silent. Back to the tavern.
Fair enough. In that case, then, because it would have been about a 15-minute walk to the toy stop. You're there for a bit. 15-minute walk back. I'd say that you're probably entering the tavern around the time that Valdis is leaving. So while it's not a complete smooth transition of, oh, you pass, like, by each other, you would probably see a blue-haired man walking off into the distance, arm in arm, with a guy in a very dark green coat.
Ooh, that boy's gonna get some. I bet he's a bottom. Yeah, I called it earlier. He's definitely a bottom. What do you think?
Yes, he's gonna look at you confused.
Maybe a switch, but mostly a bottom. Absolutely sure. I mean, oh, he's got a nice ass. Let's keep going. Don't worry, you'll figure it out one day.
Okay.
I'll go back inside and see what the others are up to and see if someone's calmed down.
I'd say that you would see Danica leaving the table that Aurora sat on. But other than that, it's the usual crowd in the tavern. You don't see Saya and you don't see Austra. So it's just Aurora.
I'm just gonna say,
Oh, go
Saya
on.
can come down.
Yeah,
Saya can come down and just hang out.
fair enough then.
What's up, girl?
Okay, which girl is that directed to, since there's now two of us down here?
What's up, girls? Better.
Aurora's going to basically wave, lift a hand to wave, and then also just add in waving him over, along with changing to another new page on her sketchbook.
Sure. If you're beckoning me, I will come over. What's up, girl? See, now it's exactly correct what it was supposed to be the first time.
How was your walk?
Gravitating.
Understandable. I'm sorry about a little while ago.
I don't follow. What happened a little while ago?
With Astra?
Oh! Why are you apologizing? That's her shit, not yours.
We're also twins. What affects one affects the other.
Sure. But that's her baggage, not yours. I don't apologize for someone else's baggage. Also, I should preface this because you don't deserve this. I'm probably being an asshole right now by calling that her baggage. I'm sure that means a lot to her and to other people and probably to you. I just have a different perspective of it. So please don't take my lack of empathy for her or hurt you in any way. And if it does, I do apologize for that.
I understand. I just honestly I didn't even realize that would play out like that. I probably should have realized it, but
Yeah. Not your job to look out for other people, whether they be by blood or by not.
Speaking of which, I was in the toy store earlier.
Yeah, right?
You saw it?
You feel like you're holding on to this, and we're both like, what?
Yeah. She just looks real, like, surprised and then relieved. I'm just like, yes.
Fucking creepy. She is in her room, by the way. Soul and all, because I'm pretty sure I scared the soul out of her, but I think she has it.
I'm gonna. Can I have like Saya like there to listen in if possible?
I mean, yeah, you made a thing of like she's there at the table, so now they're talking about this thing at the toy shop, and
she
you've
is
got
at
no
the
idea. Yeah.
Oh, table. Okay, yeah.
I mean,
good.
you cannot be at the table if you want, but I was under the impression you were joining.
Yeah, no, we're joining. Okay, let's keep going.
Weird.
It is. It has me concerned if others have been commissioned in the same manner.
Oh, definitely there is. There is some creepy dude who does not get out enough.
It was commissioned by the head of this town.
Who?
The burger monster?
Of course it's royalty who's being a creep.
Yeah. The toymaker told me that there's a new one commissioned each month off of sketches of other girls that are born.
Ew. Don't turn into that guy, TS.
Don't intend to.
I know, neither did they, but apparently somehow they got onto that path. If you do, I'll make it quick. No, I did not just threaten to kill a child. I said I threatened to kill a possible horrible person. That she couldn't do it.
Saya's gonna look at Aurora and just go, "Do you know how long the dolls has been around for?"
No, just that there's a new one that is made each month. Pictures, sketches were brought to the toy maker at the start of the month, and he makes the doll based off of the images he's given.
It takes a month to create a doll, so they should have known about Arena's existence before then.
Oh, that's a good point. You got a brain in there. Fuck yeah. We should go check on her. I actually just look at her through the window, but like we should probably go knock on the door, make sure she's actually who she says she is. Good.
How would we confirm? Sorry.
Don't interrupt, especially ladies.
I was just going to say, I wonder if perhaps any of these images, any of these other dolls may line up with potential people that have gone missing, other young women.
Well, she's not missing.
The doll hasn't also has not been picked up yet.
Yeah, we might want to stake that out.
We have a growing plate of things we need to get done.
Do we? I only know this one.
There was also the wine issue.
There's a wine issue?
Speaking of which, I did order a glass for you. It was supposed to come when you got here.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Why, thank you.
The wine issue is evidently this tavern is running low on their alcohol products, and they
Oh,
need us to restore it.
That's right. That's also sketchy. But then again, where do we live? In a really fucked up place.
Almost as if on cue, speak of the devil and they will appear. Someone does come to pour you a glass of wine, Azazel, but it's not who you're expecting. It's not Danica. It's her husband, Erwin.
Oh, what's up, chap?
This guy, this ceiling. We're doing pretty good.
You. I like it. You do have a roof over your head. That is a lot.
My apologies that my wife could not serve this to you herself, but she is running an errand at the moment, so I have been dragged from the kitchen. And he, decants this glass of wine in front of you and then tops up your glass, Aurora.
Okay.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes, my friend.
The beauty of being in front of the flames all evening. It gives me a lovely glow.
Yes, it does. Don't change a thing about you.
Gives you all a smile, but, pretty much just heads immediately back to the kitchen.
Once he's gone, Aurora's gonna look back at everyone. And that reminds me, Danica mentioned that some of the Vistani are working with Strahd, and mentioned that Valdis has also left for the night with one such person to be alone with them. Something I guess supposed to be aware of and potentially mount a search if he's not back come morning.
Who was that for again? I'm sorry?
The table.
No,
She was-
for who doesn't come back?
Valdis.
Oh, that man is not coming back tonight. He's going to get some, whether that other guy knows it or not. Maybe a bottom, but I'm sure he's an aggressive bottom.
What I would be worried about is if the person he left with is potentially in league with Strahd.
Why do you think that?
From what Danica told me a little while ago, some of the Vistani work for him. She expressed some concern about Valdis being alone with a Vistani for the night. I simply think it would be a good idea to at least have it be something we're aware of, that we can be concerned if Valdis does not return in the morning.
We should probably be a bit more concerned, because the only reason why they met is because he was trying to steal Valdis's hair.
Why? What? Why is he? People say I'm the dumb one. Alright, kid, don't laugh at that. You weren't a part of this. Sorry.
That was adorable.
Alright, well, are you talking about he's splitting up? You want to go after him? Or are we just waiting? Ooh, are we gonna go watch him on a date?
Well, I believe we were going to check on Irina and ensure she was alright.
Yep, but then are we crashing a date?
We could crash a date. I have some experience in stealthing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have some experience in crashing dates. I was like, girl.
I want to make
No.
sure it's alright.
Unfortunately, if Caleb was here, he'd be able to tell us everything we need to know.
Probably also shouldn't leave Australia. Hold, man, we got so many people in danger right now. It's not even funny. We get someone mentally unstable upstairs. We have somebody who may or not be actually that person. We got someone on a possible lethal date.
All right,
You know what I
well,
do in these situations? It's worked every time. Ask me.
What do you do?
Sit back and watch things unfold.
well, if we want to make sure everyone's okay, there are 4 of us here.
3
We
and a
can
half.
split up a little bit.
Wait, there's 4 of us? Hold on. Who am I missing? Me, you, Roller, no. Oh, yeah, 3 and a half. I was right.
And Say's just kind of sighs, like, whatever.
So what's the plan, Sam?
What I am proposing,
I'm already taken, but thank you.
it's just what I am proposing for our plan is that 2 of us that each of us splits up. 2 of us stay here and 2 of us go and scout and potentially watch over Valdis. On that note, it's probably good to have someone that is good at fighting and as well as magic use. I have magical abilities. Defensive purpose.
Valdis is alright.
Okay, so you're leaving. So like, it's me or you are staying. Because apparently we're the fighting type.
I'm going with TS.
Okay, that answers that question. I guess we're staying alone. Not in the dark, because it's a well-lit area.
Do you guys have a way of communicating?
There's many ways to communicate without verbals. So what do you mean?
If I ever learned the spell that I'm looking to learn, we won't have this much trouble anymore.
You try to talk. I mean, you mean to talk to you, or should it be me and her? Because I'm sure there'll be less talking happening between me and her at some point.
Satan's just gonna look over to Azazel and just be like, look, I don't care about your romantic connections between each other. I'm just making sure that we both have a way of contacting in case things go wrong and we need backup or you need backup.
At this point in time, TS is just going to get up from the table and start walking out because he knows, he's seeing Valdis walking off whenever they were first getting here, so it's like the tracks are still fresh right now. Might as well just go make sure.
Then Saya's gonna go and just kind of like, where she leaves, she goes, I can't talk today. She looks over at Azazel and goes, figure it out. And then she'll quickly go behind and catch up with TS.
I will say, Aurora, while all of that has been happening, you've just been watching Azazel try to steal your book. Like, he's been trying to, like, etching his fingers closer and closer to pull the sketchbook away, but each time he tries, he notices you looking, so it's the thing of, like, a kid reaching over and then darting his hand back.
At some point, then she'll just kind of casually set the book down.
Oh, look, a book. Ah, I'll take a look at this.
Yeah, it's the thing of like she sets it down so she can pick up her wine glass better type thing.
Oh, look at these behind. I was just taking it like I never was doing anything wrong.
Yeah. So far, a lot of the pictures in it are, if you flip through them, a lot of them are scenery from around Barovia, flowers. There is a roughly started sketch in there of you, as well as a very like detailed sketch of Irina working on a picture.
What's the rough sketch of me look like? Like what pose? What is it?
It is a kind of a bust port sketch essentially, aimed to have like the firelight starting to be shadows and everything around your face and glow. I'm unfortunately not an artist in real life, so I can't. I am.
I was just curious of the pose. You didn't have to
Yeah.
go super in depth. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll be like, oh, it was nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Thank you. I just need the model to finish posing so I can get down details like the shape of the eyes.
That's the shape I'm sure we're going for.
Oh, there's also the shape of the lips.
Well, I guess we should go upstairs and see if she's alive.
Yes.
Right. Well, I'll hand back the book, of course. Because I know for a fact I'll fail trying to take it again. But yeah, I'll go back up. I'm like, you should probably knock on the door because that might look weird if I'm doing it. And people might think it's for other reasons.
All right. Yeah, she'll knock on the door to check on Irina.
There's a very soft yes.
Irina, it's Aurora. Azazel and I wanted to make sure you were all right.
You can hear movement from behind the door as whatever locking mechanism, like whatever bolt she put across, like she's moving away and opens the door so that you can fully see her. And looking past you to Azazel, is like, so peeking through my window wasn't enough.
That looks wrong, but there was for a good reason. She'll tell you why, but you won't believe it from me.
The doll maker, or the toy maker here in town, has a doll in his shop that is near identical to you. For understandable reasons, it's raised concerns with us, and I'm personally wondering if perhaps there may be some tie with other women who may have gone missing in the region, as it seems one doll is made every month of a young girl.
Then Vallaki is not as safe as my brother thought it might be. It means I cannot stay here.
All that we do know for certain is that the Burgermeister of the town has been the one to bring sketches of you to the toy makers at the start of this month for that doll to be created. I'm thankfully not the only one that has seen this.
I think the plan should be that I'm sure that while you've been in town, you've been making yourself useful. And she like gives a quirked eyebrow of like, come on guys, we know that people have come up to you asking for help and you've said yeah. Like, don't even try and tell me now. I'm going to stay hidden here. I'm not going to leave this room. As soon as you are done with all the necessary business, I think we should leave. The Father Donovich, I remember him talking about potentially heading to the Abbey, that being a safe place.
We can get you there. For now, until we leave, do you wish to stay in the room with my sister and
I can... does your sister need watching over?
She did fall asleep, a little inebriated, a little more drink than she should have had.
No, that's completely fine. Which room are you staying in, and I'll go sit with her.
I don't, out of character, I don't remember the room number, but she would point it out.
No, that's fair. You just point across the hall, being like, "Oh, it's that door there," and like, "Here's the key," and she just nods and happily takes it. Although she does hand you, like, you do a bit of a key swap, where she hands you the key to her room, and it's like, feel free to. I'm not going to be using this room, and if your sister has already taken the bed, you might as well have your own.
Thank you.
And she takes a like the equivalency of an overnight bag, where it's like change of clothes, fresh water basin, takes a couple of things that might be helpful looking after a very hungover person, like a pail. And she kind of gives you all like a curtsy as she then heads over to be in the room with Austra.
Yeah. Aurora looks at the key that she was given just at the moment of like, am I going to need this? Does like a side glance at Azazel, just like, maybe.
I just shrug like you never know.
Never do. I suppose it all comes down to chemistry.
Indeed.
Well, we know now that Irina is safe, as is my sister. You know her better than I. Did anything in that conversation come off as different to you? Something to tell you that it wasn't her?
Did anything seem odd?
Insight check for me.
Ba, 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 da, ba. Insight. Where is that button? It was a private GM roll again. 14.
Irina has grown up essentially in a world of aristocracy, so she's hard to read at the best of times. You didn't pick up on anything, but then, on the other hand, she was quite hard to read in general.
She's a hard one to read, but I think she seems normal. She's always been kind of an odd cupcake.
Alright. Well, if you're satisfied that that's her, then do we want to wait downstairs for the others, or perhaps see about what we can find in town?
I'll let you decide that. Leaving could cause issues. Staying could cause issues. So I'll make it your fault.
DM, it would be dark by this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, given the light outside, I would say we should stay here.
Understood. Let's go down. I still have my wine. He kind of shakes the cup a little bit. Sit down, talk about battle stories and things alike that I don't have.
Nor I. And I can perhaps finish your picture.
Well, I look good in this bar stool or in a pew.
Or near the fireplace with the light hitting you just right.
I don't know if it's ever perfect, but we can certainly give the firelight a try. Yeah, I'll go down and I'll just sit by the fireplace and I won't sit still. You can see he kind of has a hard time sitting still sometimes. So he's always kind of moving. His hands always stay in view, and he'll just talk about random nonsense.
She would be the mixture of like she's paying attention, but she's also she's multitasking while she's drawing.
Easy enough. He'll kind of it's not exactly like unnoticeable, but there'll always be at least like kind of one eye watching anywhere and everywhere your hands go.
Mm-hmm.
Roll just roll a performance check for me. See how good this drawing ends up.
Okay. Watch it be a stick figure.
Hey!
With a 24, this is a very exact likeness. An incredibly good drawing. Although I would say, Aurora, that you notice that as you're drawing out lines for Azazel's face, you do notice that there's certain facial features he has which draws your attention in the sense of like his jaw is incredibly square and neat. Like his cheekbones sit perfectly symmetrically on his face. He is the literal definition of like symmetrical beauty.
Yeah, that's just gonna translate to she's now more attracted to him. Yeah, when she is done, she would turn the book to show him. A near perfect likeness, if I do say so myself.
I'll be the judge of that, and he'll take it. Such an asshole. I'll take it out and kind of, pretend like you can't see him. Like, well, there's a little. Let's see where you erased there. It's perfect. Very nice. I could not have done it better myself, and I am myself.
I'm glad to hear.
Don't give that to the toy maker.
No, never.
Thank you.
She basically kind of leans forward, starts kind of looking over his features now that it's been like pointed out and everything or noticed by her during the art. Your features are very, very symmetrical. Near perfect.
I know. Thank you for noticing that. I come from a very symmetric family.
Well, that is certainly not a curse.
No, I mean, beauty is a curse, but I'm okay with it. It's a curse I can live with.
It's certainly one to be appreciated.
How long have you been drawing?
Um, since I was quite young, the head of the temple noticed that I enjoyed trying to draw little pictures of tulips in the dirt during flowering season, so he encouraged me to try and sit down with a sketch pad and some charcoal.
You definitely should continue that task.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like me to draw you again?
Oh, we can't hurt perfection, so I say one's enough for today. I don't think we should push it.
That's quite fair. Any ideas what I should draw next then?
Well, I am not an artist. You are the artist, so I don't believe I should be the one to tell the artist how or what they should draw. That would be a... It would be an injustice to you.
If you insist.
Well, I mean, I always do.
I'm glad you like it though.
Of course, it's very nice. I mean, look at it. 9 out of 10 people could not do what you have just done.
And here I'm supposed to be the one giving the compliments.
Nah, that's my job. I'm pretty good at it.
And it is part of, I suppose you could say, my religion to encourage positivity.
Your religion encourages a lot of things that I do approve of.
I'm sure. Such as the ability to sleep with anyone you would like, so long as the chemistry is there.
I don't read anywhere between, on, or during the lines that said you had to have chemistry.
It's usually required.
Yeah, for some people. Sometimes you just need to get frustration out. But yeah, that is a part I do agree with, and I feel like more religions should and could follow. Like Helm for one of those. I don't remember what he's about it, but you know, he could probably add that into his little spiel.
So, about yourself that is not, well, I suppose nothing too terribly personal if it is crossing into boundaries you do not wish to reveal.
What do you want to know?
If I'm honest, most times I usually start with things such as books that you enjoy, literature. She motions to the book, art, even simple things like your favorite color or your favorite flower.
I don't typically read unless it's required of, but I like books with pictures. Well, you're on the right track on that. Color, blues, reds, greens, not greens, blues, reds, purples, things of that nature. Those are nice. That's off the top of my head.
Why not green? You mentioned it and then took it back.
Oh, it depends on the mood. Green sometimes is good, but it's like 50-50 on that one. You have to have the right colors, you have to go with the right things around. It's just, I don't know. It's a little bit more difficult to work with.
It goes so well with red though. And she kind of like twirls a strand of her hair around her finger.
Not wrong. So does blue, so does purple. Again, it all depends on how you mix and blend the colors.
this is true. It's something I've wanted to do in art for a while, is work with colors. How long have you known Ismark and Irina?
Theo, how long have I known them?
It's a good couple of years now. Don't get me wrong, the relationship is not deep.
Oh, no.
But
absolutely
they've been
not.
friends to you.
I mean, I've known them for a couple of years. I wouldn't say, like, we're like cuddling buddies, but, you know.
Alright. Is there anything you would ask of me?
Not gonna ask that. I know you like red. Let's see. We said not deep questions, so not that question. Well, something I can't think of a question. I'm trying to think of the right question. Tell me, who's your least favorite person in the party? That's a good, easy one.
I'm not sure it is that easy. I do not dislike anyone in the party easily.
All right. Who's your favorite person in the party? How about that? And you can't choose me.
Then I suppose I would be biased and say my sister.
Good question. Good one. Good one. Good one. That's all I got for right now. I'll think of another good one without being too deep.
Alright. For the record, I do not mind any deep questions. I simply didn't want to probe too far into any topic you may not wish to discuss.
Oh! Like I told TS, I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything and everything. You just might not like the answer.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Anytime. I don't care who's around or what's around. My life is my life. I've made the decisions, and that's all there is to it.
Understood. I regret nothing in my life either, so I have nothing to hide as well.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
She will lift her wine glass in a little bit of a toast. I suppose to beauty and to art, then.
Beauty into art and those who can make it.
And a night around the fire with good company.
It's far and few to come by.
Indeed. And she'll clink her glass with yours before taking a sip.
Same. Though it's more of a gulp. He's not a great wine drinker.
Pause that
Other
there.
than that, will just be. Yep.
You enjoying a glass by the campfire. Well, not the campfire, the hearth fire. We then go outside to Saya and TS. Now, the real question is, how are you tracking Baldur's? Because all you saw was him walk in a general direction, and then you went inside the tavern.
Pretty much walking in that direction. If I see other people, I'm just going to ask, hey, have you seen a person with blue hair?
Investigation check.
Yeah, essentially, Saya's just gonna follow TS, but let him do the searching.
Alright, then that will be an aid. So I was going to say, I said it before the roll settled, even though that's a natural one, so roll again.
Fair enough. I'm okay with this.
Okay. So, asking around, there are a couple of people that did see a man with blue hair walk through, but they can't tell you where he went. As you keep, but to be fair, it is its own homing beacon because you're walking further eastward, and people are still going, "Oh yeah, I saw a man with like blue hair." It's been a while though.
Enough, they seen him, which means probably went this direction.
And you continue doing that. I think it's fair to say that you would continue doing that until you reached like the eastern outskirts of the town.
There's normally guards set up at the edge of town.
If you're wanting to go all the way up to the guard towers.
Just go up until somebody tries to grab TS's attention, just asks, "Hey, I think somebody with blue hair came out this way. You guys see which way they were heading?"
I need to check to see if they know. Okay. As you come through guard, the first guard just kind of gives you a shrug, but says, I am sorry, I have only just come to this post. I cannot tell you either way." The other one perks up, like, blue hair, I believe they left town.
I'm guessing they didn't say where they were going.
No. Didn't see where they went either, sorry.
I understand. I do appreciate it, though. I hope you have a wonderful night. And TS is just gonna walk out of town.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
Being a criminal and like a spy at the same time, does she just would you think that Saya knows like any like tricks into scouting out and trying to find them?
Potentially. Your background gives you features in its own. Make a perception check for me. Okay. There's a couple of things that crop to mind, like obviously with the direction that they maybe went, it might have been fresh mud, fresh tracks, the weathers are pretty shit, but as you look through, you don't see any kind of track or trail that would be specific to two men walking side by side.
We don't see that, right?
You don't see that.
I don't see that. Okay. And she's thinking, and I'm gonna say that TS can hear her. She's going, if I were going out, where would I go? It was a nice place. It's just a place to be alone. Where would I want to be?
There's a lake.
What did you say, TS?
There's a lake.
We can check that place. That might be a good start. What do we have to lose? Except time.
There's Valtis.
That's not something we want to happen. Of course. He's the one that always wants to stay in one location. Yet, when he's offered up a nice gesture for the night, he's the first one to go.
TS will start heading towards the lake.
Okay. You'd remember that it's from this direction, it's a bit of a walk. You're going to be going for a while.
TS doesn't have any other ideas from Sam where they might be going, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, we're heading to the lake then.
Mm-hmm. Let's go back to... Yeah. Let's go back to Valdez. Enjoying dinner, enjoying your company. The food is almost eaten. And now it's time for dessert, as Aragal plucks one of the cubes from the little sugar dish and holds it out for you to eat.
He's definitely very curious. He's never seen this before, so he'll kind of do a very, like a small, sniff, and just kind of tilt his head like, I've never seen this before. What does it taste like?
Oh, the different colours, and he gestures because there's like multiple colours like in the tin, are different flavours. This one, and he's holding up like a yellow cube. This will be a lemon.
Interesting. And he'll, instead of like taking it out of his hand, he'll just kind of like lean over and bite like the little cube of gelatin off of, like, I'm guessing it's like a fork or like a...
Oh no, he's pinched it between his thumb and forefinger, so he's like holding it out.
Oh, that makes
to
it
you.
even better. Okay, cool. So he'll definitely like lean over and take it between like his teeth, but he'll make sure that like his tongue like runs over his thumb to like take the sugar off of it as he pulls back, and he'll give him like a small wink and a smile as he's like tasting it.
Mm-hmm. And there's like the tiniest like imperceptible of movements, but he does like move his thumb, so it's almost like a mutual stroke, I guess is the best way of putting it. But he smiles and like looks and goes, "Did you enjoy?"
It is very, very nice. I was definitely expecting a little bit more of like a citrus punch, but this is actually very mellow. How did you make this? This is wonderful.
It is flavorings that we have taken from sweet shops in the desert. They know what they're doing out there.
Well, I do have to say it is quite exquisite. He'll kind of like offer the same, just like pick up a random gelatin cube and like hold it out to him.
And with that same coy smile, he puts a hand down to like brace himself in his balance, but he leans over in a bit of a pivot and takes the cube between his teeth. But there's also that thing of like, he sucks the sugar off your fingers. So there's that thing of like, oh yeah, I've taken in the cube, but I've also basically just sucked on your finger.
Val will definitely have a little bit of like a soft blush on his face as he kind of like This is gonna sound so weird, and I apologize in advance. But like, when he kind of has like Val's fingers in his mouth, he'll kind of like pivot it so his tongue like or his thumb drags across his tongue as he pulls his hand away. And just kind of like looks at him underneath his lashes and gives him a smile.
You can see that there's a moment of thought. Yes. Indulge me. And he stands up and holds a hand out to you.
He'll definitely like smirk a little bit, and he'll take the hand and stand up.
And he pulls you into a very like standard waltz hold and begins to do just a very slow like 1 2 3 1 2 3 as he just dances under the light of the moon.
Definitely kind of like caught a little bit off guard. An actual like genuine laugh will kind of like come out of Valdis's chest, kind of like very surprised, but very, very, very not upset. He's quite enjoying this actually. He kind of like gets into, I guess, proper dancing position, like putting his hand like on his shoulder and like giving his Aragal's hand like a little bit of a squeeze, and he'll like smile up at him, like a very like a very bright smile, and continue to dance with him under the moon.
He continues to just bring you round in circles. The hand holding yours that is outstretched, like getting a little bit tighter. The hand like wrapping around your waist, like just bring you in that little bit closer so that you're now pressed together. Still going in circles. And as he looks down at you, the smile is gone. Not in the sense that he's no longer happy, but there's now a look in his eye that you've seen before, and you recognize that restraint.
Interesting. Okay. Val will kind of like see the look in his eyes, and a just like smirk of mischief will kind of like dance across his face, as like he'll kind of, the hand that's on his shoulder, he'll kind of move his fingertips along his shoulder and up to like the back of his neck, and just like very gently play with like the curls on the nape of his neck, and kind of wait a pause just to like make sure that it's okay. And he'll kind of like pull down slightly, and he'll like get up on his tippy toes to try and give him like a kiss.
There's like a very sharp inhale of breath when you pull at the curls at the nape of the neck, and when you pull him in for that kiss, it's almost like the restraint is gone. He goes from being quite refined but still like charming to this almost like, there's no other word of putting it other than frenzied. It's like you've given him permission, so now he's going for it. Like the hand that was outstretched holding yours drops, immediately goes to like back of your head, through the backs and curls of your hair, and just like holds you in place. The one that was around your waist immediately balls like the material at the back of your shirt, and you were being kissed like passionately, almost like violently.
It would definitely like take the breath out of his lungs at first, but he'll kind of immediately like smile into the kiss and like bring his other hand that's like not in his hair kind of like up to cup his face and like bring him in closer, like basically as close as they can physically get. And he'll definitely reciprocate.
Through kisses, pants, licks, you hear just like a really husky, mumbled, "If you are not careful, I will take you here and now."
Val will kind of like gently, as to not like pierce the flesh or anything, will kind of bite his lip as he pulls away and just like, well, I've definitely done much worse with a lot less. And kind of like kiss the underside of his jaw, like, I don't mind. I don't care.
Okay. Everything from that point on becomes frantic. It's stripping layers, stripping what you can. It's taking in as much of each other you can, different bits of finger touching bits of flesh, like taking in as much as possible within a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And Valdis, you find yourself on your front, Aragal behind you. You almost feel like his entire body weight come over you. You feel the heat of his chest on your back as he leans in to your ear and says, "This night is perfect."
He'll kind of like chuckle and throw like a quick like look up at the sky, and he'll kind of play with like the grass on his hands, like, because I'm imagining his hands are kind of a bit outstretched in front of him. He'll kind of like thread the grass through his fingers and just like, well, considering the position I'm in, I would like to agree.
You feel him reach off to the side for something, like his weight shifts. And then he comes back to just covering you entirely, leaning back down to be right in your ear, lips brushing the lobe, as he whispers, "An offering for the master." And you feel this pain jab through your ribs as you are stabbed.
Ah, lovely.
I need to roll damage. Because depending on what happens, you could just outright die.
Considering I have like 14 health right now, like.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Oh my goodness.
We came so highly recommended.
I'm rolling it for the sake of, like, because you need to roll an attack, but considering you are prostrate with no armor, like, that's hitting.
Yeah.
And then...
Just depends on how much damage it does.
Okay. And Valdis, the last thing you see is some kind of bird flying over the moon. What is your maximum hit points?
Great. 23.
Okay. You black out.
Fuck, man.
And we will come back to this.
Okay, listen, I was hoping so fucking hard. Damn it.
Saya, TS, you begin walking to the lake when above you you hear a cawing and a flapping of wings.
In a quick instant, Saya's going to grab TS and just kind of hold him close and put her and like swing her cloak so it's like kind of guarding, like kind of shadowing both of them.
Both of you looking up, you can see, outlined by the thin bit of moonlight that's going on, a raven that has very clearly seen you, and it's flying in a circle above you and cawing, shrieking, making a lot of noise.
I'm gonna call up to the raven. Which way?
And it flies off back the way you came.
TS just gonna start booking it.
Saya's right behind him.
Because you're running, takes you about half the time. So, a couple of minutes later, you are led to a clearing. A rug has been laid out lovingly on the floor. There is the remnants of food tossed about a little bit, and you see, lying in a pool of his own blood, Valdis. Naked. He's been stabbed through the side, so it's pierced through his ribs, through his lungs, out to the other side. And whoever left him like this is long gone.
TS is going to approach, running, setting his bears down next to Welch's head. He's just gonna try first to see if there's a heartbeat, to see if he could use the rug or something, just to try to stop the bleeding if it's still bleeding. Wants to do his best to attempt to stabilizing his friend.
Medicine check for me. Okay. He is alive. By the barest of margins. But you can see from the discoloration of the veins around the wound that whatever attacked him also had some kind of a poison element. And if you don't find a way to get rid of that poison, Valdis is going to die.
Saya's gonna look at TS and go, do you know any healing spells at the moment?
I can't. I can't. We need to get back to the tavern. Now.
Saya's gonna be the one to carry him back.
I'll say that with the medicine check, you stabilize him so he's not losing death saves.
But I will say, before Saya actually like gets him, she'll take her cloak off and kind of wrap it around him.
I mean, his clothes are around. You can pick them up if you want to.
Yeah, she's just gonna go. She's gonna look at TS and go, "Can you grab his clothes?" And we'll change him when he gets there. Right now is not a good time.
I'm gonna go
And
ahead. I'm gonna see if we can find something for an antidote. Something.
We need to get him back to Aurora and Astra.
Aurora was passed out. Astra might be able to help. No, that's backwards.
Astra's passed out. Either way, we have to head back. I know his life is critical right now, and I get that. But you are not to go alone.
Alright.
And
Gather
what?
his things. Tias is just gonna gather his things as well as Valdis's things.
As she's got Valdis like kind of like on her back with her cloak around him, she goes, "Oh, little mosquito, you're in trouble again. This time we're here to save you. And my cloak is getting dirty because of you." But it's with the smallest smile, because that's her way of being like, everything's fine. She's not really thinking about how bad it is, even though it's bad. But yeah, they're gonna hurry and like book it back to the inn.
You do notice, TS, that the raven that brought you there is no longer with you.
Enough.
But you know the way. It's the same path through to the side of town. Jumping over to Azazel and Austra. You sat there, drinking wine, enjoying each other's company, when you hear a door slam in the back, and Erwin, like, basically comes barreling into the main tap room, scans the room, sees that you haven't moved from where you were, and comes, like, stomping over.
What's wrong with you?
I was gonna say, without too much of a ceremony, he's like, you both need to get into the back now.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Yeah, Aurora is moving on to her feet. Just, what happened? What's going on?
Valdis has been found.
And so he didn't get that messed up.
He doesn't look good. Apparently your friends are bringing him back as we speak, but we need to prepare. And as you walk into the back room, through the kitchen, and into what appears to be like some kind of storage room, you see that Danica is already back there. She's put on an apron, pulled her sleeves up. She's put on like some kind of gloves that look like they would really be better suited for like cleaning a chicken. But she's got them on, and you can see like bandages, wrappings, like all the rudimentary first aid that could be gathered has been gathered, as a table that would normally be used for prepping vegetables has been absolutely like cleared, shit's on the floor, like we are making a homebrew surgical table in the back of a tavern.
Okay. I still have some healing that can be used. I hope it will be enough.
Your
The hell did
friends,
he get himself into?
your friends are on their way. We've sent people to meet them at the gate. They shouldn't be long.
Oh, jeez. All right. Do we meet them out there, or what's the plan?
In fairness, it was more to tell you the news in private that I brought you back here. If you cannot heal,
How do you find out?
a little birdie told me.
I don't. That sounds sketchy.
Aurora will begin like securing the flowy parts of her dress that might get in the way. She'll start like kind of pulling her hair back into like a half ponytail so that she can essentially like I can work around blood without dirtying myself or my clothing too much.
I'm gonna regret this. I'll be back. I'm gonna go to a room that I shouldn't be going to. Hold on. Process. Alstra's room.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lock the door or no?
You gave the key to Irina.
Oh, right. Oh, I want to just knock on the door. She's helping out. Knock, knock.
Irina unlocks the door. Considering, I'm assuming you're saying knock, knock out loud.
Yes. She's not. I know she's not good, but is she awake and capable?
I would say. See, that's the thing. Austra essentially drunk herself into an alcoholic stupor.
Mm-hmm.
So you can definitely try and wake her up right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Austra, you're awake.
What?
Intelligence saving throw for me.
Intelligence saving throw. Oof, okay.
And then a constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Because you need to figure out where you are, and then the con save to see if you throw up or not.
Okay, so my intelligence saving throw is a 14.
Okay. And then con save.
Okay. Oh, 13.
Okay. So the last thing that you remember is downing that second cup.
Okay.
You remember everything up until that point. As soon as the alcohol that made you pass out hit, you don't remember anything.
Right, so I don't remember screaming at him.
No.
That's fine then.
Perfect.
You are still drunk. You
Okay.
have not slept for long enough to keep off this hangover.
Bitch, I need you to listen fast, I need to listen hard, and I need you not to flirt with me. Do you or do you not have capabilities of doing any type of magic at high or low level at this moment in time?
I am so sorry, my headphones pulled out. Say that again.
Put your ears on, woman! I said, listen hard, listen fast, and don't flirt with me. Do you or do you not have any capabilities of high or low level magic?
No.
No? Go back to sleep. We turn around and leave.
What's the matter?
Don't worry about it.
No, I'm worried now.
Yeah, I know you would. Yeah. I'm just gonna close. I'm gonna like
No,
keep her.
I'm following after
Uh,
him.
Irina just kind of
I,
shrugs, like, can't stop her.
no, but do you want to be helpful?
I'm always helpful.
No, that's a lie and slander, and even you know that.
Yeah,
What
but
do you do for dead people?
oh, what do you mean? What do I do for dead people?
See, that's the answer I don't want to hear. It means you're not going to be helpful. It means you're going to be worse off,
If
so you're going
they,
to stay here.
well, if I was a higher level and I had a big enough diamond, I
What do you
could
mean by
bring it
level?
back. If I was more advanced in my training,
Oh,
there's levels
shit.
in our
Is
training.
it like a level game? That's I don't have the time for this right now. That's fine. You can't be helpful for me right now because you don't have any capabilities of doing magic. So I'm not going to waste things
Well,
on
it's
you
not
to make you better.
necessarily like magic that needs to be. What? Who's in? What's the
Oh,
matter?
just come here. I'm just gonna pick her up, I'm going to fireman carry her and just throw her on my shoulder. Like, fine, you're coming with me. But if I tell you you're leaving, you're leaving. Done?
No.
I hate
Yeah,
you.
my sister was right. You do have a nice ass.
Of course you're drunk, but you give me a compliment. Alright. And I'm just gonna bring her downstairs.
Smash cutting to TS and Seiya. You get to the city gate. The guards are not there. However, waiting for you is Gregor on a horse. He gestures to the body of Valdis, and with a very serious look, he just goes, "Give him to me."
And Seiya's going to give Valdis to Gregor with her cloak and whatnot. And just goes, "Be careful with them, please."
He pulls Valdis's body up so that it sat in front of him, and he wraps an arm around Valdis's waist and just cracks the reins of the horse, and he fires off into the middle distance.
But Seiya's just gonna keep running.
Jess is gonna grab Seiya before she starts booking it. Where are the guards?
What do you mean?
The guards aren't here.
I don't know. What do you mean, guards?
This is the entrance of the town. Or an entrance of the town. There were guards here whenever we were leaving. There's no guards here now.
And Seiya's gonna actively look around after hearing that.
Perception check.
I don't know why my character can't see very well.
As soon as TS brings it up, you realize, you can't see or hear any kind of guard activity.
This isn't good, is it?
We need to go to the tavern. TS is gonna start running.
Mm-hmm. And as they're running, Seiya's just gonna go, "We'll figure it out when we come back. Right now, Valdis's life is priority."
Okay. Austra, Aurora, and Azazel, you hear hoofbeats approaching the tavern at a breakneck speed. Someone is galloping down the street outside the tavern.
Aurora will head for the door. essentially in the sense of like who else could it be right now? If she's in like full, like her mentality is in full like task mode of like get Valdis, help Valdis.
Yeah. There is a door that leads immediately like from the kitchen to the outside and to the stables. So flinging open that door, Owen, you can see someone riding on a like a black horse, so it almost blends in with the night sky, carrying a bundle in front of him, and it's to your horror as he steps down off the horse and carries the limp body of Valdis almost bridal style quickly into the kitchen. He does not look good.
Okay. Before she does anything, would she notice anything like to recognize that he has been poisoned?
Medicine check. Yeah, the wound is incredibly obvious to all of you. Like, that's not something that you need to roll a medicine check for. He's been stabbed with a blade through the right side of his torso, in the gap between the ribs, and from the end of the blade, because you can see that there's also another incision on the left side of his torso that is a lot smaller. The blade went all the way through his ribs, potentially skimming his heart through the other lung and out the other side of him.
Oof.
Haha, I've been impaled.
In more ways than one.
Oh my!
Well, not in the way that you would have liked.
Sad.
But you do see that around both wounds, every vein, artery, capillary is dyed with some kind of dark green to black ichor.
Okay.
There is poison in his system.
Okay, she's going to basically mutter a prayer to Suni and do 5 points from her pool of lay on hands to cure Valdis of poison.
Are we seeing all this, or is this something that's being done?
Oh no, this is you have you've been dragged into the kitchen. The preparation table of the kitchen has been converted into a surgeon's table. And
once I see that, do I sober up a little bit?
No, well,
realize the gravity of the situation.
You can sober up in the sense of you see the gravity of the situation, but you're still poisoned because you're still drunk.
Right, okay, that's fine. Then I, for lack of better words, sober up a little bit. Because I've had a short rest.
Yes, you have.
Which is lovely. I have my channel divinity back. So I'm going to use my channel divinity called Harness Divine Power. And that allows me to bring back a spell slot.
Long rest, but I will check that now.
I thought that was a long rest.
When you finish a short or long rest, you regain your expended uses on channel divinity.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh no, that's on 6th level.
That's
no, wait. Oh no, wait. It's the beginning at 6th level. You can use channel divinity twice for free rest. And beginning at 18th level, you can use it 3 times for free rest. Full stop. When you finish a short or long rest, you regain your expended uses. So I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole separate sentence.
Short or long rest.
So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it is on short rests.
Okay, so I use Harness Divine Power. I get a spell slot back. Can be no higher than half my proficiency rounded up. So that'll be a 2nd level slot. Oh no, my proficiency is 2. I thought it was 3. My bad. So it would have to be a level 1 spell. And it would have to be Cure Wounds, because there's nothing else that I can really do. So I would also cast that on Valdis. Which is 6.
Okay.
And just start getting bandages and look to Aurora. Just like training. And we just start bandaging and making poultices if we can.
Aurora would put an additional 5 points of healing into Valdis as well.
Mm-hmm.
For lay on hands.
So,
Thank you.
Ness, make a note of 11 HP. But you
Okay.
don't wake up.
Done.
So, sister, I have another. I can cure your hangover if you would like.
Sure.
If you're going to be trying to bandage him up, you shouldn't be doing it drunk.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
And she'll use the last of her lay on hands to neutralize the poison of the alcohol in Austra's system.
I love you, sister. I love you so much.
Yeah, Austra, you are now firing on all cylinders and not drunk.
So, sister touches, slaps my own face, goes, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
DM.
yeah,
Quick
do all that
question.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is Valdis's bag on the table or near or somewhere?
No.
Did Valdis take his bag?
I have his bag.
I was going to say,
Where are you?
if Valdis took his bag,
Did you take your bag?
Ness.
Yeah, I think he would because he would have brought his weapons with him, just in case. And, look how well that turned out.
Well, someone used their weapons on you. Sorry. TS, where are you?
As far as I'm aware, still on my way to the tavern.
Okay.
We're still running to get back there.
I'm gonna let the sisters know that I want to be on the lookout, and I'm gonna wait until I can see those two come back. But I also wanted to keep a general eye around. Oof. Before I do that, I want to go back upstairs and I'm gonna check on her one more time and make sure she's up there. Did she go back to her room, or is she still in Elsa's room?
You go to the room, and she's still there. She's still in Austra's room. But you see her perched on essentially the window seat, looking up at the sky above.
Are you okay?
You should look at this.
Oh no. I'm gonna go look.
Above the tavern are multiple swarms of large bats.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. I need you to get down into the kitchen. You're not gonna go any windows. Can you do that for me?
There's a very quick nod as she goes, I just need to grab something really quickly, but yes, kitchen.
We'll grab it as I'm following you down to the kitchen. I'm just going. Is there like a shutter or thing I can close from the window?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm slamming that fucking shit closed. I'm gonna go with her wherever she needs to grab. I'm take her to the kitchen. Once I do that, I'm gonna go to any and all doors and make sure that they are closed and locked.
Okay. You follow her back to her room where she picks up her rapier
That's fair.
and then follows you down to the kitchen.
That's fine. I will be using, just for mechanic wise, I will use my action and bonus action to dash, so I am moving fast as fuck, boy. And I am using all windows. I'm going to lock all the doors. I'm gonna hope that the two out right now know to come through the front door. At least that's where they left, and that's where they're probably gonna come back. So once everything's locked and closed, I'm gonna wait at the front door and kind of keep it creeped open and just keep an eye out.
Seeing you frantically shut door and seeing people being brought from upstairs to downstairs, Erwin and Danica start doing the same, but for all of the outside doors. So any door that could potentially lead to the stables or a back storage room with a window, like they're going through all of those and bolting, shuttering, reinforcing. A thing that you notice, Azazel, as you're shuttering all the windows, is that all of them that are on outside, like facing windows, have the capability to be reinforced and barred.
Beautiful. Done.
Do the ones in the kitchen healing notice this as well?
Oh yeah,
I'm not
because
being subtle.
yeah,
Awesome.
no
Great.
one's
I
being
will say-
subtle right now.
I'm
that case,
also
then-
like running faster than you've seen anybody.
That's absolutely fine. I'll probably just go, "Hey, whip it boy, can you grab my bag from upstairs?
When I'm
We're gonna be
done,
needing our shit."
you have
That's fine.
legs.
Heard. Just back to the healing.
Saya and TS, you arrive as you can see from the inside someone rapidly like shutting shutters. Like all the windows are getting blocked off.
Do they also see the swarm of bats?
Oh,
Like, 'cause they're running up
yeah,
towards the inn?
It's not subtle. It looks to you, TS, you've seen this very similar thing before, but in birds, where it's like murmurations, where you can see like folds and flickers and a mass folding in on itself and creating shows in the sky that, if it was a bird, it would be a beautiful display. But looking up and hearing the twittering of bats. It sets you on edge.
So you guys are coming up to the front door. That front door is absolutely locked.
It's locked now, like they can't get in yet.
Oh no, you got to knock on that door. That was the first thing I did was lock the doors, and then I went to the windows.
Okay. Yeah. Saya's gonna run up and knock on it, but she's looking up at the bats and she goes, and she kind of looks at TS and she goes, "What are they doing here?" Not that she knows that TS probably doesn't know the answer, but she's just asking, like, for whatever reason she doesn't know.
TS is just gonna be focused on the door, knocking on it as well, banging on it. And it's like, I don't want to find out. I just went inside.
What's the password?
Open the fucking door!
What's the password? Unlock the door. As you guys walk in, I'm gonna be precise. The password was fucking.
The guards are gone. Is our guest still here?
Yes. As I'm closing the door, I'm just gonna stick my arm out and just give a big middle finger to all the bats before I close it.
Easy enough done.
Don't go batshit crazy.
Everybody is in the kitchen. What the fuck did you two do? Also, do you have Valdez's back?
Yes?
Let me see it.
He's just gonna hand over Valdez's bag.
Well, I can't believe you did that so easily. I'm gonna search his bag entirely.
We spoke. We were worried about TS, so we ran to get him.
You worried about TS?
No, TS
Why are we worried about me?
Valdez is the one that's dead. Why are you worried about a child when your friend's dead?
My kid.
He died?
No, he's not.
Well, not anymore. Go check on him. I'm looking through the bag.
Why are we looking through the bag?
My creator fucked up. We meant Valdez.
My creator fucked up.
Can we put that in the quote book?
Yes.
I don't see why we can.
What was the question, DM? I'm sorry.
Why are we looking through the bag?
Why?
Yeah.
I want to see anything and everything this person has. Is there a note? Is there a dagger? Is there anything I want to take? Anything and everything.
Bro,
I'm a thief first. Okay?
I'm
That's what-
watching this.
I know, but I'm so surprised you gave it to me that easy.
In fairness, in the very quick, like you're literally rummaging through it as quickly as possible. Other than the standard,
the two things I'm looking for. So go ahead.
Go on.
Oh, well, basically the two things I'm looking for is A, did the attacker leave like a note saying like I did this and you're next or shit like that, and then anything invaluable or weird.
So no.
Okay.
There is no note. And then other than like the standard, oh, this is something that an adventurer carries, Valdez doesn't have like a lot.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure there was something that they had that they wanted. I'm gonna sling that over my shoulder and then, actually, no, I'm gonna hand it back to TS. Take this back, take that into the kitchen, figure out what the fuck's going on. I'm staying out here to see who's coming to kill us. And I'm not gonna rat any of you out. I promise. I won't give any of you up to save my own skin.
Insight?
You're not there.
I know.
TS is just gonna look at him. Like, I don't believe a fucking word you're saying. But he's gonna go back to the kitchen.
Yeah. Saya's gonna run to the kitchen, and I'm just gonna point out her wardrobe change because since her cloak was around Valdez, that for chat she's just in a tight purple corset with like black leggings with like a little bit of a purple skirt, but in like her stealthy outfit. But she comes in with her long black hair and just goes, "How is he? Can he be saved?"
We've neutralized the poison. We've healed wounds. I think it's now just a waiting game. Which is what I wanted to ask DM. I'm pretty sure that's right. Is it DM? I'd also like to check him over fully to see if there's any other like scrapes or injuries or anything that's weird.
Medicine check.
am I still naked is the question.
Yeah, you are.
I would
As
have.
the day you were born.
I
Lovely.
would have draped you modestly.
Hey, as long
Give
as
you
nobody,
some dignity.
as long
Some
as
things
nobody
are
can
just
see.
not as tight as the things it used to be.
Listen, the party has seen Blythe's dick. I'll be fine.
Non-natural 20.
Okay. So a couple of things you notice. No defensive wounds. This is very much a surprise, one and done kind of attack. Valdez, in the... Actually, no. I'm not even going to try and be sensitive about it. He's rock hard. So there's the thing of like, he died while aroused, and therefore blood hasn't left the area.
Which is actually a good sign, because if he was dead, he'd be limp.
I'm alive! Woo.
Oh.
Medical facts I did not think I needed to know.
Saya's just gonna leave her
Blood
against the wall.
blood has to still be moving and getting to that area, so you have to still be alive. If you're dead, your blood ain't moving, the blood ain't going now, which means it'll be limp.
Saya's gonna sigh and lean against the wall and go, "Listen, I don't wanna scare anyone, but there's a lot of freaking bats out there."
What?
Yeah.
Guards are missing. Bats are outside. They are circling the tavern.
I look to my sister.
Hearing the phrase, "there's a lot of bats outside," you see Owen and Danica like kind of looking at each other, and Owen sprints out of the kitchen. Azazel, you'd see him come barreling into the tap room. The other patrons that were here, scared shitless, like hiding under the tables, they've got no idea what's going on. but you see Erwin take what look to be like some kind of decorative wall paneling, and he unfolds it with a series of like hinge joints and puts it in front of the fireplace. They'd hidden essentially like a flume barricade in the paneling of the wooden wall.
That's so smart. Holy shit.
And he, like, you can see him, like, fastening it to the sides of the fireplace by, like, a couple of bolts and, like, positioning levers.
At the mention of the bats, Aurora is just gonna very, very quietly mutter under her breath, like, there goes my plans for the night. And just, like, back to work, like, doing bandages and everything, like, doesn't miss a beat.
Sorry, what was Aurora doing?
Oh, just while she was working and, like, doing the bandages and poultice and whatever, she's doing to help Austra, just over there mutter, like, quick mutter under her breath of, like, so much for my plans for the night.
So, yeah, funny how things happen. But either way, as we work, let's pray. You pray to Sunny, I'll pray to Madame. We'll have both sides covered. Let's just work and pray. So, just praying to both, like, Sunny, grant us your protection. Madame, be our light in the darkness. Grant us protection.
ACM. Everyone else is distracted with Valdis right now, right?
Yeah, safe to say. Or securing the tavern.
Is there anybody outside?
You'd have to open a shutter to see.
That's fine, I will.
Okay. Which shutter are you opening?
One near the front door. Bad guys like coming through the front door, you know, flare entrance.
There is actually.
Perfect.
Tall man. Lean, muscular. You can only see parts of him, since he's standing on the other side of the street in a dark night, moon blotted by the screeching of bats above. But as you remove the shutter, he turns to look at you. And there's a spark of recognition as it's the man that Blinsky had carved as like the ventriloquist puppet.
Like what? Oh, so he's one of, like, basically a model for one of the dolls.
He and
okay.
You remember at the time when you rolled to be like, do I know this guy? I'm like, oh, he rings a bell. Like there's a light bulb moment, and I'm like, it's him.
Okay.
The man stood across the street is the ventriloquist puppet.
Cool, and I don't remember anything else about him.
You don't know who this guy is.
Is he looking at me like he knows me?
No. From this distance, it's more the thing of, oh, I saw movement, so I'm going to look in that direction. But he sees the window open.
Oh, but it's not like, oh, he was waiting for somebody to open. Fuck it. I'm going to close that. I'm going to go to the front door and unlock it and peek my head out.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this quietly. I don't want the rest of the people. Everyone's frantic and freaking out back there. I want to try to do this as quiet and as unknown as possible.
Stealth check, then.
All right.
Assuming no advantage, so let's just do this. Ah, that's what I wanted.
Okay. The man is no longer on the other side of the street.
Okay.
He's now... there's like a couple of steps that lead up to the front door of the tavern. And he's now stood on the highest step, so he's maybe 5-10 feet away from you.
Ooh, you fast as fuck, boy. You know what? I'm gonna say that. I'm like, you fast as fuck, dude.
Mm. And now that he's in front of you, you can now get a better image of the man. High-collared breastplate. Coming all the way up, like the collar overlapping itself, like almost like a floral arrangement as it goes up to almost the base of his chin. White shirt, pinned together at the cuff with like a red jeweled cufflink. Very expensive taste in clothing. Leather brown boots with multiple buckles going up the front, and he's wearing a thick black... You would say it was a travelling cloak, other than the fact that it doesn't have a hood. Pale skin. Sharp jaw, sharp cheekbones, even sharper than yours. A widow's peak of slicked black hair. Dark brown eyes looking to you. And as your eyes meet his, it almost feels like he's searching your soul. He smiles to you. It's small. There's a slight crack in the mask and the facade.
Wonderful weather we're having.
I believe you have something of mine.
I have a lot of things. Can you be more specific?
I would like my book back. Please.
A book?
Hmm.
Have we met before? Have I threatened you?
No. Because you would be dead if you did.
Then why do I feel like why have we met?
I would hope that you know me.
Yeah, I just want you to say it.
Where is my book?
I still want you to say it. Come on, I'm a big fan.
I see.
And then we can talk if or if not I have your book, which I don't. But I might be able to find this. I might be able to get it. But I still want you to hear it. I still want to hear it.
Roll either a persuasion or deception for me.
Persuasion or deception?
Well, that's the thing. You're rattling off a thing of like, oh, like maybe I could get you the book if I have it. Well, maybe I don't. Da, da, da. Like if you're telling the truth about that.
I was just technically I don't have it, and technically I can't get it. So I guess it will be your persuasion. As I'm technically not lying. Sorry.
And the board is on your side.
I wish I was for something more, but just because it's a 20, though, doesn't mean that my 25 is going to outbeat his. Unless skill checks crit. I don't know how. I don't remember if you do that.
I don't usually.
I don't think so.
You see, like, an eyebrow quirk. And you see an imperceptible movement of him running his tongue against the ridge of, like, his lower lip. Almost in thought.
Come on, let me hear it, and then I have a question, but I might be able to help you out. I can't help you out, but I gotta hear it because big fan.
I will hear your question. This is a fun thing. And he actually fully smiles. Like, it's warm, charismatic.
Oh yeah, it's sexy as fuck. But can I hear it? Can you introduce yourself? I'm so that's look. I like you know who I am, obviously. But who are you? Introduce yourself, sir, please.
Happily. Shall we take it inside?
No.
A shame. I do not normally do pleasantries on a doorstep.
I do. It's quite a normal occurrence, actually. So,
And you can see him thinking, you can see the cogs turning. He leans over slightly so that he can look inside, like past you.
if this is the dumbest move, and I'm gonna die. If you start to look past me, I'm going to step back through the door and just close the door behind me, not having it locked. Just gonna close behind me, like this conversation is between me and you, and that is not polite. And looking to another person's doorstep, which. I'm not going to say the next thing out loud because that might be misinterpreted for something else. So I'm going to keep that part to myself. So, again, I would love an introduction. We will talk about a may or may not book, and then I may have something else for you.
There isn't a response.
For someone as big and bad as you, I would have thought you would love to throw your name around.
Okay. Yeah, still no response.
Fine. You want your book. You said you answered my question. So, I should make it a good one. Because I didn't think you were going to answer one. So, the good question that I have is... You in league with the hags? In the one where your book was, or did they steal it from you?
No response.
It's not fair. You said you were going to answer a question. Or hold on a second. If I get you the book, then you'll answer my question? Or are you just going to stand here all quiet and terrifying like?
Just to clarify, you're having this conversation through the closed wooden door.
No, I'm outside the closed wooden door.
Oh, that's my bad. That's why I've been saying there's no response. Okay.
I said I'm stepping through the door and closing it behind me where it's not locked, but he's not allowed to look inside. I am being an idiot and walking out and closing the door behind me.
Okay.
My bad. I should have specified more articulately.
No, that's fair enough. In that case, then, that will change things. So you've stepped out. He hasn't moved, so now you are within 5 feet of the guy.
Yep.
Quick question, do any of us see the idiot do this?
No, because he rolled like a 26 on a stealth check, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
26.
you're on your own, buddy.
I know. Don't worry about it. I'm still going to sell you guys out soon enough.
So...
He's fucked.
No, I'm fucked, because if he sells any of us out, it's going to be me, because I'm the one who has the book.
So, now that you're within 5 feet of the guy, how tall is Azazel?
Oh, I wrote that down somewhere. Hang on. Is it here?
Just out of curiosity.
I'm pretty sure he's like 5'11". maybe 5'10". Like he's not like he's slightly shorter than the average guy, average human.
In that case, then, you would be surprised to know that height-wise, you're quite comparable. If anything, he might be like an inch or two shorter.
Okay.
But it's the presence. Like, you've stepped into this guy's aura and you are hit like a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like, and while he's there, smiling and being charming, you feel like this is just a cat and mouse game.
Oh, I'm 100% the mouse.
You wish to know
So-
if I was in league with the hags?
Well, before that, I would like to know if you would still like introduce yourself, unless that's just off the board.
If we are introducing ourselves to each other.
Sure. Scare a bad person first.
Salutations. And he, like, goes into, like, a deep regal bow with, like, his left hand stretched out behind him and his right coming in to, like, clutch at the crease in his waist. And when he comes back up, he resets his arms so that they're, like, kind of clasped in front of him, like his fingers are kind of steepled. My name is Strahd von Zarovich. And who am I speaking to?
And like him, but slightly different, I go to a deep curtsy using my pant legs as like the points to pinch. I'll be like, my name is Azazel. There is no maiden name or surname. It is just Azazel. I've given up everything else. Unless you would prefer I gave you unless if you give it to you, I think I remember it. I'll have to draw it from that. Would that insult you if I didn't? I don't use it, ever.
Azazel will do. Now we know each other.
Alright. Yes, we do, and you haven't killed me yet, which I greatly appreciate that. I mean, that's a man of character right there. But yeah, the question was with the hacks, because obviously you knew, like, I took it. So either they told you, or you knew they had it, and you went to go kill them, and they're like, oh, the handsome man strike, and they jumped out the window. Took it. If I had it.
I was aware of your defeat. And so I decided to talk to them about it. It was then that I realized that the book was gone.
Why'd you put it there?
Call it a show of good faith.
To them?
They exist in my realm as a codependent parasite.
Valid. It's kind of like the people I travel with right now. It's kind of have to deal with them. Fair enough. So you, okay, all right. That's cool. That's fair. So that's all you want? Is a book that I may or may not have? Nothing else?
I'm just here for the book.
How come it means so much to you?
It is my property. I do not
You know
appreciate
what?
it being stolen.
Bro, that is very valid. Very, very valid. So you didn't like send any of your followers to come murk us, right?
What any of my servants did is of their own volition.
All right, fair enough. Can you wait here, and I can see if I may or may not have your book?
I'll be waiting. I have all night.
Hold on. Yeah, just the night. But My question is, are you a man of your word? Like, are you actually going to wait here for me? Is
Are
that
you
like
wishing
your
to
word?
make a bargain?
No. I'm just asking if that's your word.
I will remain a man of my word until you are not a man of yours.
I said if I may or may not have it and may or may not can get it. That is my word right there. I will go check.
As you wish.
Do me a teensy weensy little favor. You're listening. Can you turn around?
As in, turn my back to you.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna whisper something in your ear. And then I will leave and possibly come back.
And you know what?
No harm?
He does.
DM, can I whisper to you?
Yeah.
Do we want to go to the whisper room or you want me to just message you?
Whichever you think will be easier.
Whisper room.
Alright.
Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna whisper in his ear. If for some reason our paths were ever to cross in a negative manner, know that I am always willing to bargain, to make a deal, in light of my own skin.
You
Keep that.
You feel him. Well, actually, to be fair, you're close enough that you probably wouldn't be able to see it, but you would feel him nod slowly. Like he's heard and received that information.
All right. Then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stealth back in to the into the tavern, and my goal, DM, is everyone's gonna be freaking out and whatnot. I'm just gonna go to Alstra. I'm gonna be like, where's that book? I think this might have to do something with Strahd. I need the book because I remember reading something into it, and I'm just gonna try to play it off as something else entirely.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, going back.
Hello.
Hello. Are we alive?
I
Did you
don't know.
kill us?
Please tell
Maybe.
me you sold out TS.
Okay. You
Yeah.
come back in.
Yep. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. All right, guys, everything's locked, everything's closed. Alstra, where's that book that I gave you? Because there's a fuck ton of bats, and I think there was something in that book that involved this.
It's in my pack. I haven't read it yet.
I know I need it right now because I read it and I can't remember the chapter.
Okay, it's in my pack. Help yourself.
Thank you.
I'm still bandaging.
That's perfect. Thank you. I'm gonna go in
Holy
the bag.
fuck!
I'm gonna search the book, or her pack, and grab the book.
Easy enough. It is a thick leather-bound book in a bag, so.
I want to grab it. Keep up the great work. You guys are doing great. I'm gonna run back, and I would like to quietly stealth back through that door. That door was fucking locked, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I did lock it, by the way. Bro, do it.
TS is following.
Do I notice him following? Let me know. Let me find out this much as I'm
Are
going
you
back
following
to
him up to the bedroom where he's stealing the book? Or are you following him when he gets back down to the door? Because there's a distinction between the two.
It'd be a full follow, because if he's heard something that could potentially help their current situation, TS would want to assist in that.
Wait, is he going upstairs for my bag?
Yeah, because he never got the bag
I told
down.
you to bring it down. Oh, okay.
I did it.
I told him to bring it down, but.
I did it. I said you got legs.
Oh, well, you didn't say that. You just said I'll do it later.
No, I said you've got legs. I'll do it later. If you're following me up there, TS, We're like, can you take this to Alistair? She asked for it, and she has legs, but apparently she can't do it herself.
What about the bag? What about the bat situation?
The bat situation, everything's closed right now. If you see a bat, you squash that. But right now, she can't squash anything except for the. Well, she's not poisoned anymore from the alcohol, but she can't squash anything right now without any of this.
But if there's something in the book that can solve the bat problem, then we don't need this.
Well, yeah. But until then, we're going to need it. Would you rather have a backup of the backup while we're both multitasking? Or are you wanting to slow it down?
I was gonna aid in getting it done.
You can aid it. Can you go to the kitchen first?
Yes, he's just gonna stop talking and just look at you.
Time's a ticking.
Doesn't say a word.
Why do you have to be like this, kid?
I thought you
Good
said
night.
time's
You
ticking.
already hugged me. Edward Christian, go get your sensor on and. Sorry.
No, you're good. Just trying to help you out. That's right, TS.
I don't want to go to bed just
I'm gonna go full mama on you. TS Starving, you go to your room.
You're not my dad.
I'm gonna take your nut. You're not my dad. Kid, just do this one for me. I hate you. I'm just gonna walk back down the stairs. I'm throwing the bag at TS. And I'm gonna. You follow me to the fucking door?
Yeah.
Great, kid. All right, kid. You keep your mouth shut. Understand? And I mean that right now. And I'm not talking about not telling them. Just saying you keep your mouth shut while you do this. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. You got a mouth. Keep it closed. Also, you're gonna lock this door behind me. Okay. Actually, you're not going to be seen. You stay behind this one door and you keep your mouth shut. Do you understand? You can look through the keyhole, but you're not going to be seen. And we're doing this in the bedroom before I get downstairs.
I understand.
No, I'm saying, kid, if you ever thought I was serious, now's right now. Right now's the time. Do you understand me?
I understand you.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk down. I'm gonna run back downstairs. I'm gonna try to get his footsteps in line with mine. Put him behind the door. I'm gonna open up the door. I'm gonna slide through it, close behind me. Is he a man of his word?
I'm gonna lock the door.
I hate why you just shit. I hate
put
you.
my ear up.
I hate you.
Door as well.
I hate you so much.
Okay.
I'm staying. My hand is going to stay on the lock in case I need to unlock it, and my ear is going to be pressed up to this door.
I hate you. Is he there?
Yeah. He'd taken a couple of steps away from the door.
That's fine.
Just to give people space of movement. The bat swarm above the inn, if anything, it's thicker. More bats have joined the swarm.
All right. Hey, look what I found. Told you. I may or may not be able to find it. Well, I did not have it. That was 100% truth, which I think you probably already knew.
But you were the one willing to bargain.
Mm-hmm. For the book, absolutely. You have to make all of us go. Which I think you were here to hurt us to begin with, so like it was kind of an easy bargain. So we good? You gonna leave and like take all the scary, well not scary, but all the creepy bat. I'm not a big bat guy. I'm sorry. Like, I know like some people are like, oh, bats are cool. Like I want to embrace them. I'll be like, I'm gonna be like call myself like the Batman. But like I'm just not into it. It's not my kind of thing.
Have you like held the book out to him, or are you just holding it?
I'm kind of holding it and like kind of keeping it in my fingers a little bit, but like we can share like yeah, you're not hurting us. Like we're good, right?
He reaches out to like, but only to hold like a corner of the book. Like he's not snatching it from you.
That's fair.
And he gives you a smile and says, loud enough for TS to hear, we'll be in touch.
I hope not.
But he gives you a smile, takes the book and places it in a compartment in his cloak. It's one of those cloaks that has like an inner pocket lining. And before your very eyes, he just evaporates and joins the mist.
I know you're fucking listening. I'm gonna, since TS didn't respond, I'm gonna walk up to the door. I'm just gonna kick it so that like little oomph will kind of like push him off a little bit.
Who were you talking to?
Open the door.
No.
Open the door, kid.
Who were you talking to?
I'll tell you. Open the door, kid.
You told me day one not to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Who were you talking to?
I'm not telling you to trust me. I'm telling you to open the door. Don't make this a lesson.
Cass is gonna go grab a chair and try to prop that underneath the handle of the door.
I'm gonna go ahead and run up that stairwell to the door I know that's up there and see if I can let myself in.
No, because as part of the barricading and the shuttering, that door has also been locked and barred.
Even with thieves' tools? Which is
I
fair.
mean, you can definitely try and thieves' tools it.
Oh, that's what I meant. My apologies.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I
you
knew
can
I
just
locked
walk
myself
in,
out.
But yeah.
No. Okay. Thieves' tools, where are you? We got someone to do.
Okay, with a 25, you open up the side door. I'd say that this is kind of now obvious to everyone else because they're not being subtle. There's a bang at the front door as Azazel kicks it, and then drawing the attention of other patrons in the bar, you all... Well, it depends on whether you leave the kitchen or not.
Or side door down to the first floor.
You're breaking up so bad.
Oh no.
I can't hear you, DM. I'm sorry.
Balls.
Oh, now I can hear you. I heard balls.
Okay.
Anyone hear anything?
No, yeah.
There you are.
I'm just trying to see if it's a internet thing on my end. I think we're fine. So, it depends on whether your characters would leave the kitchen, but you all hear the slam of Azazel kicking the front door, and then there's like a scramble as TS is trying to wedge a chair under the handle.
Well, we were told we were in a lockdown situation, right?
Yeah.
I think at that point, Aurora and I probably look at each other. I don't know, because Aurora's muted.
Saya's gonna waste no
Yeah.
time and go over towards the front.
Okay.
I look to Aurora and I look to the front. And barmaid's name, who I do know, but it's not in my head at the minute. Danica. I say to Danica, watch Valdis, and we just go.
Like my own. Go.
Saya,
And we...
when Saya gets there, probably a second with like Astra and Aurora behind her, she just goes, "What the hell is going on here?"
I don't know, but who's outside?
Zazel's outside. Somebody else is also outside.
Somebody
Who
else.
I don't know.
Where is Azazel now?
Coming down the stairs.
I'm literally just
I brought you
walking downstairs
outside!
with a pissed off look on my face. I was, and someone wouldn't let me back in.
Were you talking to somebody outside?
Yes, I was.
Who?
Who?
That's what TS wanted to know, but he wouldn't let me back in.
Okay, well, do you want to tell us now that you are in?
I don't know. I'm still kind of pissed off at TS.
Okay, well, do you want to just tell us and not the child?
Hey, Danica, can I go behind your bar and help myself to something?
Danica isn't there because she's in the back kitchen.
That was a yell. Sorry, I should have said stage yell.
No, that's fair enough. In fairness, at the front is Owen holding a hand crossbow.
Oh, fair. I could ask him.
Like, because he came out hearing the bangs, armed with a crossbow. And then hearing the back and forth, hearing the exchange, Owen gives you this appraising look, Azazel. Who's outside?
Whoa. I forgot this feeling. It's been a minute. Alright. He kind of pulls up, kind of grabs a chair, kind of sits in it, kind of leans back on the last two. Oh, that was the big man outside.
Strahd?
The big old ass.
You were talking to Strahd?
No, the book's what saved us. But you wouldn't know that because you didn't let me back in. You left me out there with him.
What was in that book?
Information about him. Couple of things about him that were a little bit personal. He didn't like me knowing about it.
Okay, what kind of personal things that could, like, help us?
Like, he talked about being a vampire, a love, sword, a couple of different things. But I gotta go back in my memory banks to figure that out. But he wanted it, and he was gonna come in here one way or the other to take it.
And you couldn't have stole so I could have read it a little bit so two of us had information?
Yep. Sorry, it's kind of a quick thing. Plus, I didn't think you would let me do it, so I did it anyways. How to make a... Just, that one quick decision.
How did you get to this book?
I told you. Did I tell you, or did I tell you? I think I told you. I remember that windmill was up at the top. She knew about it. Alstra's the one who kept it to herself. I told her, I'm like, hey, here's a book that I found with the hacks.
I don't think you said that part.
I did. I told you, I'm like, hey, I found this book back at that windmill.
No, you asked, do I read? And then said, here's a book.
Yeah.
You said nothing about it being from the hacks.
Well, I guess it was. Doesn't matter now. It's gone. That's what where all the bats were going on. Don't know what was going on with Valdez. I think he might have been. I have no idea, to be completely honest about him. I thought that was because of him, and I thought that's who he was going to go have a good time with. I was like, damn, boy, like, good for him.
Why are you engaging with Strahd?
I took a book. Sorry, I take things sometimes. I didn't know it was his.
Why didn't you let us know he was outside?
Because the less people who knew that would probably be for the better. Because people react really harshly when, like, people like that are outside.
And to be fair, you've been having this conversation very openly in the tap room, so now people that are just normal Barovians are shitting themselves.
That's why I didn't want to talk here, but no, we wanted to do it here.
You could have told us where we were all in back.
And back, I wanted to come back in, but you wouldn't let me back in. Oh, no. This is the lesson. You just let me in. You could have gone in the back, figured this all out, but no.
Okay, do you know what? We can all throw around shoulds and coulds and would haves. The fact is, it's happened. Okay? But he's gone now, right?
Yeah.
He has to
hang on. I get back up. I'm gonna go look out a window. Is it clearing up outside?
There's still that baseline of fog, but it's definitely not as dense as it was earlier.
Yep, it's clear. Clear, everybody, get on up. It's all good. Breathe, get a drink. You're all gonna live another day, unfortunately.
I think your cockiness and pride is what gets you killed.
The only thing keeping us alive right now, sweetheart. This isn't cockiness. This is confidence. This is planning. This is preparedness. You can take it however you wish.
I think you're an idiot.
Yep.
Unfortunately, though, he is an idiot that has kept us alive. So he's a useful idiot.
Now let's go check in on your guys' friend who you all just left in the back by himself bleeding when a flesh-eating monster who loves sucking
Okay, I'm
blood
gonna
out.
stop you there. We solved the poison. We patched up his wounds. We've healed him. Daneker is watching over him. He's stable. He just needs to rest, and then he will wake up.
Beautiful. Nice work. That's one positive thing that came out today. Besides your painting.
This is why I don't have emotions. They make you dumb. And she goes back to fetch your cape to wash it of Valdez's blood.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Just come out for that one moment, go back in. So, are we done pointing fingers? Move on, breathe.
Almost, but you definitely need to talk to us about what is in that book in more details.
I can go over whatever I can remember.
Then start remembering.
Right now?
Rolls my eyes at you exasperated, and I just go back into the kitchen.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping you'd say. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna say the entire tap room. Anyone need anything from me? All right.
If only you would have asked me that a few hours ago, the answer probably would have been a bit different.
Probably. But I gotta keep it going. Everyone starts liking me, then bring that level bar down a little bit lower. Bring it back up a little bit higher, bring it a little bit lower. Gotta keep that weight on there. Good. Jess, you need anything else, buddy? You want to lock me in my room too?
Tia's just gonna walk back into the with Valdis.
Yeah, you little shit. I'll go up to my room, DM, and I will irritatedly call it a night.
TS. Perception check for me.
God damn.
Okay. Come on in. Danica is looking after Valdis as best she can. She's now rolled him onto his front so he's not just prostrate on the table.
Hey, at least you get a good look at my ass.
Yeah.
I draped something over him so he was modest.
Ah, never mind. You see the outline of my ass.
I mean, in fairness, Danica, as the mother of 2 young boys, has, with no shame whatsoever, redressed Valdis.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Yep.
It's not in your finest clothing, but it's at the very least you're wearing something.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mom.
TS will just take a seat in the corner of the room, watching over both Danica and Valdis.
Yeah.
Same.
Danica will turn to the 2 of you. No, I need to go check on my boys.
Yes, and if you need us, just shout us. I'm probably going to be staying in here tonight.
I'm aware that it may be a lost cause, but if you could do any more healing for him, I'm worried he's not going to survive the night.
I have a little bit more that I can do, but not much. Not until morning when my magic returns.
Unfortunately, same, but I do have a healer's kit. I can keep using that. Well,
she nods and doesn't say anything else, but she excuses herself out of the room.
Have a good night, Danica.
To you both as well.
Aurora will healing hands Valdis then.
For how much?
Roll a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus. It says my proficiency is +2, so...
Oh, okay. So 2d4 then.
Yeah.
Another 4.
Do I add that on to the 11 HP?
I need to do maths really quick. Because I am a potato.
It's late. You're fine.
Yeah, add that onto the... add that onto the 11.
Done.
He does, in fairness to you, Aurora, look more revitalized after you've touched him. But he still looks deathly pale.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever blow was done to him has wrecked his internal organs.
Yeah, she's kind of just done what she can and is just like... Yeah. She'll stay by Valdis for the night.
Yeah. Astra just looks at you, and knowing the look on your face, it's the same thought that's going through her head of, we're going to be staying here for the night.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take first watch. You get some rest. I already had a nap.
She kind of will look down at her, like her hands and everything, since that should have been the only part of her that really got dirty through all this. Just, I'm gonna wash up first.
That's fine.
She'll go get like a little basin of water and scrub herself off. And kind of just find a corner to curl up in for the night.
TS, if you want to go to bed, go for it. If you want to stay down here, do so. It's completely up to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Saya is kind of folding up her cloak to get it ready to be washed, and she looks over and goes, I'm gonna wash my cape or my cloak, and then I'll join you in the first watch.
Okay. Yes, you want to take a nap and then do the second watch of Aurora?
Can.
Okay. And I guess thus begins the watch.
Okay. Make a religion check for me, please.
$14.
Okay. The entire watch that you're awake, your entire attention is diverted towards Valdis, and there's almost a desperateness to it. Emotions fill you of need, of worry, the need to do something more. It's almost all-consuming.
Do I recognize it as my own emotion, or is it some external factor?
At this point, it's quite intertwined. There's a mixture, there's definitely some of yours, but there's also something from an external source.
I don't fight the external force. I allow it to inhabit and take over. I lean into it. So if it's going to make me do something, I'm going to do it. Because I am also worried and scared and petrified for my friend.
Mm. This is where... Check. Okay. Unfortunately, there is this like desperateness coming from you where there's nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hits you. There is like this source of inspiration. You're technically sitting down for an hour doing nothing. And that is a short rest.
Okay, so I get my channel divinity back again.
Mm.
In that case, then I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to keep doing cure wounds. Because if it watches like 4 hours, isn't it? Or is
A
it 2
watch
hours?
is 2 hours.
a watch is 2 hours, so I would be able to do that twice then, in theory.
In theory,
Is
you'd
that
be
right?
able to do it once, and then it would start the process of your long rest.
Right, okay. So I can do it once.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, then. It would be 10 points of healing.
You pour even more healing magic into his body. And the feelings inside you are satiated, at least partially, but there's that worry. It's your worry, but it's also this otherworldly worry.
Okay.
But Sayre is there on watch with you, watching this struggle.
Do I feel that it's... I'm sorry, I promise, Ali, you'll be able to get your say.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
So, do I feel if it's like Madame's presence is what I'm assuming?
You have no
Or is
clue.
this like...
It's just
because
emotions.
I've never found Madame's presence.
It's just emotions bombarding you at this point.
In that case, Amber, if this feeling and this worry kind of thing that's inside and it keeps bubbling, she's gonna try to talk to Madame, like she would to Suni. And if there is something you can do it. Use my body as a conduit. Use whatever you can. Just help him where I can't.
You get the sense that if there was anything to be done, it couldn't be done right now, and that's where a lot of the worry is coming from.
Okay.
But it does abate after that first hour.
Okay.
While Saya's watching everything that's going on, she's sitting there next to Astra, and she's also watching Valdis, and she's gonna look at her and go, I don't know too much about what you do as a person, but I can tell that you did the best you can do. And it's not in your hands anymore. But don't think that you haven't tried, because you have.
I just wish I could do more.
You're not an all-powerful being, as much as we wish we could be.
Oh, I'm aware I am not all powerful.
I like to think that things happen sometimes for a reason, but I also believe that people can make choices. It's up to Valdis now if he wants to return. And
he's not going to have a choice. I'm going to bring his ass back if it kills me.
I don't think that little mosquito will go down without a fight either. I think he'll want revenge.
Oh, trust me, we all want revenge. That's kind of the wonderful thing about doing what I do and what my sister does. we're able to break bones and reset them. And we're able to do that a few times over. It's not something we're proud of. It's not something we do. Usually the whole thing is do no harm, help the needy, do more good than you can. Anything else?
Sound like a noble being. It's more than what I can say about myself.
Yeah, but it's what I heard back at the temple. We do no harm. But we also shouldn't take shit. This was cruel and calculated. And bad form and everything that is wrong.
I know. I lost my best friend already, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He never did anything wrong. He was a kind soul.
I don't know him. And if I'm honest, I don't really know you or anybody else here. But what I will say is that if anybody tries to hurt any of you, they better run. And run far and run fast.
Listen, I just want to tell this to you because I clearly noticed something's up. But Azazel, I think TS is right not to trust him. And I'm not sure I do either. He's talking to Strahd. Something wrong with that picture. You should probably warn your sister. I see the way she looks at him.
I've tried. But that's all I can do. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and that's really not saying much, but my sister is a smart. I'm hoping she'll figure it out. I can't tell her what to do in the same way that she can't tell me what to do. All we can do is warn each other.
I don't trust a lot. I don't trust a lot of people. I can honestly say I'm not sure I trust any of you, but I can see the good in you all. But right now, I'm not sure I can see it in him.
At this point, we may not trust each other, but we have to be able to at least find something worth trusting in each other. And I know that doesn't make sense. I have had a lot of drink tonight, too much, and that was stupid. Because again, if it wasn't for my sister bailing me out, we'd be fucked.
Nobody could have predicted this would have happened.
No, but we should have known something. We should have twigged on or something. We should have... Surely there was something that we could have noticed.
Your sister saw some good evidence. She went over to the toy shop and she found a doll that looks exactly like Irina.
Head in hands. What the fuck is wrong with this place?
I haven't seen the doll specifically, but I guess Azazel has seen it too. That's just another thing we have to watch out for and keep an eye on. We really need to go to the next town. I need something there that'll help us out greatly.
I believe you. But we also have things we need to do in this town. We need to find the bones. We need to sort out their supplier.
I kind of feel like I'm at a loss without Caleb next to me. And I'm not saying that because we're friends, but let's just say he's a close ally.
I'm not gonna pry or anything, but it's clear he meant something to you. And I'm sorry for your loss if we haven't already said that.
Look, don't be too hard on yourself, though. You've done a lot, more than any of us ever could have. You and your sister are truly amazing with your gifts.
It's clear if we're going to continue on, because we have to continue on in order to get out of here, we need to be smarter. And we need to take stock of what we actually have and what is at our disposal. And figure out how best to utilize it. Unfortunately, I think we're all going to have to think a little bit like Azazel. Where if there's a situation that we can't win, we have to get out. We have to live to fight another day. Oh.
All right. I will play nice.
Just for now. I guess the watch carries on.
Until it gets to the point, Austra, where you need to sleep.
Yep. Right, I'm gonna wake up the other two. Are you going to sleep or are you good for a couple more hours?
I'm still good for a second watch.
Alright. In that case, then. Are you okay to wake them up in a couple of hours? I just want them to be able to sleep just a little bit more.
I got this. Don't you worry.
Actually, no, we need to wake up Aurora, because she's got healing capabilities.
Alright.
I'll go over... Did I say Astra or Aurora, then?
Whatever is the other twin.
I know, and I completely forgot which one I just said, but yeah, I go over... Oh, thank God. Okay, my tired brain has not yet fully kicked in.
No
I go over and I very gently, like when we were children, just like touch your arm and like essentially in a way to like, you know when like you wake somebody up but you put a shoulder on them, like you shake them gently. Yeah, I just do that like very, very gently like we did when we were kids. Rory,
My watch already.
unfortunately.
Oh.
Saya's gonna stay up a couple more hours. I thought maybe we could get TS to rest for a few more, and then maybe get him to wake up.
Alright.
Okay. He seems to be doing a bit better. Just keep an eye on him.
I will. I'll wake you if something happens.
Okay. Night.
Night.
For the sake of time, is there anything that Saya and Aurora would specifically like to talk about?
No, because it's not Saya's place to be like, watch out for Azazel.
Mm-hmm.
She's leaving that for Astra to do.
Yeah,
She'll-
her and
What?
I was gonna say her and Astra kind of had that talk last week a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured. I think if anything, Saya's just gonna be like, wow, you and your sister are really amazing at doing this. Why is this Hazel talking to Strahd? and probably saying like the same thing that she said to Astra of, you guys did really good, but this is all up to Valdis now. You guys may be able to heal, but you're not God, so.
You don't know our mother or father, and neither do we.
Aurora would, basically do the general reciprocation of like, yeah, thank you. Yes, we've done all we can. We've done this since we were kids. Yeah, we're definitely not gods. Considering who we worship, I would never imply such a thing.
Probably once again be like, we really need to go to the next town. I really need something there. Just like hinting and implying that we need to finish up fast what we need to do here and go there.
Yeah, she would get a similar response from Aurora that she got from Astra. With a plus, I'd like to see the festival.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's all for me.
Passing through the watch. It's time for Saya to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And for Austra to wake up TS.
Yeah, so Aurora will go gently nudge TS awake, very similarly to how Austra woke her up.
So we'll slowly get out. Clearly tired as he sits up. Is it time for our watch?
Yep.
Alright.
Did you sleep good?
No.
Understandable. Valdis seems to be doing okay for now.
Saya will probably say her goodnights to them and nod and go up to her room.
Guess we'll get up and stretch a little bit. And then kind of sit as close as he can to Valdis.
Mm-hmm.
His bear is tucked into his kind of close to a fetal position, but not laying over, just sitting up.
Nothing happens immediately, TS. Nothing grabs your attention. You do notice sometimes when the situation is right, you'll feel like a tugging sensation. And you don't feel that right now, which gives you immediate relief. But the night is just spent, sat there. If there's anything that you wish to do for 2 hours.
Not in particular. He's just gonna be asking, pretty much talking to himself. If there's anything else he could do, if there's anything more he could do. Other than that, no.
The 2 hours pass and you know you need to go back to sleep. But then the problem becomes, who's going to watch over Valdez? As everyone else in the kitchen has already done a watch.
Guess you're just gonna stay up.
If you do, you're not going to get a long rest.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. And that is where we are going to end today's episode, with the rising sun and a new day. Thank you to everyone so much for watching this very intriguing episode of 20 Sides of Failure. Everyone other than TS gets to level up to level 4.
Oh, I feel bad now. Can we, so when we wake up, we put him back to bed so that like he can get a long rest?
No, because he stayed awake for 4 hours, like, solidly. So now if you try to make him sleep, it's just not going to work.
Still let me in the door, bud. Sorry. How much shit I know.
But thank you, everyone, so much for watching. And all I have left to say is thank you. And good night.
No.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.